Johnny Beane!
Shh. If we just leave the graphic up for the next 3 hours, people will sit around and wonder what the hell's going on.
We can make a fortune on this thing. We just got to get rid of Johnny. Oh, wait. Are we live?
Son of a bitch.
Damn.
What show is this?
That's not going to go over well.
I'm
up for my weekly review, too.
Here it is. Facebook. Subscribe. Whoa.
Hey!
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Dang.
Johnny,
no,
with all the money you make, you can't buy a goddamn $4 machine?
By the way, it was 1 minute and 40 seconds. 1 minute and 40 seconds into this thing, the first curse was uttered.
What did I say?
It was you dropped a GD on people. You know. I was trying to keep it.
Good dog.
Try and keep it. Yeah, this is.
Lemmy is a good dog. So we just lost our PG rating.
No, you get one. I think you get one.
Oh, all right.
On a PG rating, you get one. You get one GD, and I think you might get a shit.
Ooh, there it is. Well, that was
I think you get one. Yeah,
we're out. We've got to be really careful now. Right now,
they have to be spread out. That's the only thing. It can't be like one after the next, after the next, after the next. If it's spread out, that's really. So if
they're spread like Mary's legs, we're okay.
Too soon. Too late.
Too soon. She's in her 80s. What? Too soon. I'm trying to get her now. What do you?
Wow. All right, we better start this. Hey, everybody, this is Johnny Beane. It's Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live. Neanderpaul is here.
Hi, sorry about last week. Got caught up in some shit. See, I spread that one out.
There you go.
Zeke says we're all echoing for some strange reason.
Are you sure it's not your mic? Because I'm hearing everyone fine.
I am too.
Check.
Is anyone other than Bo Zeke seeing us echoing?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Wait, there's a reason why there'd be echo there. Check, 1, 2.
Johnny's been doing this show for so many years, he doesn't know how to do this show anymore.
Check.
Welcome to Tech More on Tuesday.
Yeah, there's an echo. Why is that?
Well, hold on. Let me try it. Let me see. I'm going inside a fat vagina. Pinocchio!
In the chat, are we echoing? Kurt says no.
Okay.
Even if we are, that's added effects. It's extra.
Yeah, and that's the good news. The good news is it's an effect that Johnny doesn't A, have to pay for because he doesn't pay for anything, and B, he can't control it, which makes it even better.
You're getting double the show for the money you haven't spent.
Okay. Awesome. Well, hey, everybody. It is May 11th, 2021, 8:29 Eastern in the PM, 5:29 Pacific out here in Santa Cruz, California. We are live on YouTube where we have executive producers.
The big bosses.
Charles Green, the big bosses. Charles, dude, you rock, man. Wayno, Joe Christian, Michael B, Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz. We're thinking about you, man. Bent Tom, the Chad, James Gum, David Shea Gamori, Michael Smith, the Captain, Randy Price, Stephen Franklin, Dad Halen, Crazy Cook 678, John Moronic, Jim Ray Hawkins, Mike Neese, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve
Steve
Carmichael?
Carmichael. Well, now I hear an echo.
That's the top tier of channel membership here on YouTube. If you'd like to become a channel member, click the join button below. And also here on YouTube, if you'd like to help support the channel, any super chats will change the color of my lights. It's the newest in technology.
It's the newest and ridiculously useless thing to do, but it helps Johnny profit off the show, so have at it.
It's a money-making gimmick that Gene Simmons would be boisterously proud of.
Yep, absolutely. You're a very powerful, attractive, and lucrative man. Fiscally responsible man.
Thank you, Gene. This is also a podcast. You can listen to these shows on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, radio.com. We are live on Facebook, where you can help support the shows with Facebook stars. We are live in the Johnny Bean TV Facebook page. Wow. There it is, at Johnny Bean TV. And we're live in the Van Halen 1974 to 2020 Facebook group, where we are like at 52,000 members. And according to my calculations, we are
every one of them is tuned in right now.
Well,
and arguing over Dave versus Sammy.
Yes. But according to my numbers, we're the second biggest Van Halen group on Facebook.
Behind who?
Ever.
Behind the Eddie Van Halen page.
Well, what's that all about? Why is he bigger than us?
They're at like 80,000.
They have better lights.
Good point. Yeah.
So join the group. And then I don't know what else. I'm live on Amazon. Follow me on Amazon.
It's all about Johnny.
What is this?
There's a big me in Beane.
Yeah. Check it out. Amazon. Johnny Bean TV. All right.
So what are you on Amazon? What is it? You can look up episodes of the show or something?
Huh? No. I've got a storefront.
A store. Oh, so you sell merch that's not about Paul and I.
Well, no, I sell like gadgets, like technical stuff.
Dildos,
I don't even know why I showed up this week. You don't need me. You've got a store. You've got lights.
Johnny's like, I've got coffee mugs that don't feature these two, and there's no Blue Rhino T-shirt, which would be a bestseller.
That reminds me. If you guys want to, if anybody out there, if you're listening, if you want to make a T-shirt with us, I can send you the files and just print them up.
Someone make me one.
Yeah.
I want a T-shirt with us on it. Extra large, awesome. Please.
It'd be awesome. Yeah, we know Michael Smith had those ones made up.
I don't know because he didn't make one for Tuesday.
There's been a few over the years. But yeah, because there's no money in T-shirts. It's just promotion.
Oh well, there's no money in any of this. What are you talking about? Oh, wait a minute, there is money. It's just all for you. and a tip of the hat to Cobra Kai for all the great designs.
Yeah,
all the really great designs for sure.
Yeah, and I'm hearing we may need a character for Boner Jams. So just saying.
Well, they should have a Metal Wednesday shirt logo as well.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a choice of shirt logos for each night. For Talking Van Halen Friday, for Saturday Night Live, you already have that. You have number of designs for Tuesday for Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live, and you should have a Metal Wednesdays for Boner Jams and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
With a free Gizmochi CD with every purchase.
Well, all those CDs are free because there's no barcode on them.
There's no barcode on it.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. They're all free. Nice. So let's see who's in the chat with us today, wasting their Tuesday night. Let's see. Renus Pinkle, JM, Linny Lou, and my geriatric sex kitten Mary. John Marks, the original Paramutants, David Shea Gormery, Charles Green, one of the big bosses, Thomas Santiago, Black Salami, our buddy Cobra Kai Platoon, who says, man, I can make you a shirt without you and Paul on it. Hey, that's great. That's
Will the shirt change colors?
Yeah. Yeah. Does money adhere to the shirt if it's just Johnny? Does it come with a little, Velcro or something?
You can't pay for the shirt though. It has to be free.
It's free.
Can you make the shirt with a removable Nesdol?
It costs us.
I'm kidding,
no.
I'm kidding.
That's terrible. It'll be like, it'd be cool. A Color Forms front shirt with all of the characters from the show on it. And then you can just put on whoever you want.
No, that'd be awesome.
In the spirit of Color Forms, you take the John Mancuda one, you put it in the oven.
Well, that would be my penis. That would be a shrinky dink.
I was just going to say, and it comes out as a shrinky dink. You put that in there. That way he can be.
We'll just put John in the oven like his importance on this show and watch him shrink.
I thought that was going in a different direction.
It was.
I was like, oh boy.
Oh, let's see. John Marr.
John soon.
Michael, there you are.
Michael the Captain Smith.
Good to see you, Michael.
Always welcome. Let's see who else. Michael the Captain Smith. Knipe on the house. Charlie S. Sean Zimmerman. Dwight Bailey. Kurt 5150. Murph Murphy. Vislight 1972. Looking through Bozique, who had his problem fixed. It was just an echo on YouTube. No problem. That's good. Who else we got? False Flag. Janice La 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 La. Mr. Hellstorm 74. Anetta. Anetta, right? Anetta. Let's Anada, Anada, do 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 do, Anada, do 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 do, Anada, do 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 do. Let's see. Phenomena, do 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 do, phenomena, do 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 do. Phenomena.
You do it. Get that. All of a sudden, Mancuda went full pterodactyl on.
I just love that. Well, I love making money from that. Andrew Saviers. Let's see. Looking. Majestic PB and J Cat. Howface in the house.
Hey.
Howface in the house. Tube Supio. Mike Johnson in the house. Let's see. Looking. Music Therapy Laz, who we're hoping and praying that Roxy comes back. Roxy, a valued member of the Johnny Beane family. His parakeet Roxy, who cleaned up on our Halloween special in costume.
Roxy was the winner of the Halloween contest.
The biggest winner. Absolutely. So we're all hoping and praying that Roxy comes home. Roxy got out the other day. So we're all still hoping and praying for Roxy. My girl, Sandra Picorni. Picorni, me love you long time.
Whole bed's shaking.
It's the highlight of that's what it was this weekend. It's the highlight of my week. Singing the Sandra Picorni song.
Why you do this to me, Demi?
Why you do this to me? Why?
Why, Demi? Why?
Christopher Soa, Dwight Bailey, KXM Rock, Brian Spalding in the house, Rumpel Foreskin in the house, Browns fan in the house, Mohogany, and everyone else
And the rest.
And the rest. I'm
Everybody.
sure my buddies, the Mansfields, will be watching. I'm sure my buddy Mike Mers will be watching. I'm sure my friend Gail will
John.
be watching. My dear
John
beloved
Marks. Great to see
mother.
you, dude.
My mother will be watching. Hey, John Marks.
I don't want to watch, but I have to because I have to support my failure of a son.
It's an obligation because if I don't watch, who will?
I mean, it's real simple. I mean, geez, somebody, it's the only chance he ever contacts me. It's the only conversation we have all week.
It's the only time I hear his voice.
He never shows up. Because if it weren't for this show, I'd never see him.
Even another disappointing Mother's Day is overshadowed by this show.
Mr. Hellstorm, we can't jump into the Megadeth news until you properly spell Megadeth.
How do you spell that? I don't.
There's no A in Megadeth, and the second A.
We got a couple of news stories today. Megadeth is one. Before we get to that, I want to give people a chance to pour into the chat as they're all coming in. Let's talk about Mother's Day. You know, I wasn't able to be with my beloved mother this week, so I made sure to get her a nice dinner at least delivered to the house.
Oh, it's nice of you to think of your mother.
Well, it's one time a year that he thinks of his mother, so I guess he could do something.
A meal should be the least thing that he does for me. I cooked and I cleaned and I fed over him for his entire life. I changed his shitty diapers.
My tits are drooping. My tits are drooping to the ground because of you. You ate off of me, so I might as well eat off of you.
Quid pro quo, Jonathan. I changed your shitty diaper. Your turn.
Yeah. By the way, I'm feeling a lumpy in there right now. Come on over.
I got a little bit of I think I'm touching cotton. The mouse is peeking. I'm turtle heading.
There's a turtle head headbutting my underwear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I call her up. I told her all week. I said, okay, Ma, pick up. This is not time for kernels yet.
I know. What the hell? What is this?
Yeah, Johnny, Jesus.
Random Johnny plug is what's going on here.
Jesus.
We'll get
to them.
Flow of the show. Nice job.
Really. Johnny just
Speaking
throws
of diarrhea.
Jeez. Cripes.
Dick move.
And then you're slamming the sponsors. Jeez.
Let me ask you a question, Johnny. Honestly, how much free kernels have you scammed out of those people?
Scam? They send it to me.
Right. You know why? Because you say nice things about them. When you talk about their product and equate it to diarrhea, the supply chain slows down. Unlike when you have diarrhea. Speaking of Bang Energy Drink, product check.
Wonderful segue. Delicious Bang Energy Drink. Nothing like clearing your pipes. You talk about the pipeline clogged up over down south. Well, let's clear your pipes with delicious Bang Energy Drink. Good for everything inside you. Yeah, baby.
Bang.
I have so much energy.
Bang. Not only a shitty song from Gorky Park, but a shitty drink.
Now you're bad talking them.
Yeah, now I'm not going to get any Bang Energy. Let's badmouth every sponsor today.
I don't drink that swill. That's what I drink. I drink the Pepsi. I drink lots of Pepsi. All I wanted was a Pepsi.
And when I go to play guitar, there's nothing I like better than the Surefire grip. Hold on, let me grab another one. The Surefire grip of a Swiss. Gosh, there's.
By the way, your mic technique is Vanessa Del Rio like.
What is it?
It's your mic technique is straight out of Vanessa Del Rio's playbook.
Speaking of Tommy Lee, we'll be talking about him later today. Yeah, let's just slam all the sponsors. Swiss Picks, the slipperiest picks I've ever had a hard time holding.
The worst. Here's what we can do: the more we shit on the sponsors, the less money Johnny makes.
Oh well, now I'm in. Let's see. Whose pickups do I not like? Oh God, the worst crankety tone from these Vinum pickups. What the hell? I can't even discern what
By the way,
note is
John-
what.
John, you've
From
had those
Vinum
pickups.
pickup.
You've had those pickups for like 2 years, and you haven't put them in a fucking guitar. You know,
I've had them for 1 year.
They
And
work
you know
better when they're in a guitar.
But you know exactly what I'm waiting for. You know exactly what I'm waiting
know.
for.
I know, but I'm just like the
No,
whole
but
idea.
I know.
The beauty of a pickup is like it's like a book you've never read. Like I have all those books over there. I don't even know what's in them. They just look good. I put them up there.
Yeah,
All
Paul
the
has
CDs behind me I never listened to.
a shelf of philosophy books, so I can look smart, I guess, when I'm,
I have The Art of War by Sun Tzu in there. I've never opened it, not once. I just put it up there to make myself look sophisticated. Right next to Guitar for Dummies.
Which I've opened quite often, and yet I can't get past the introduction. I've gotten through the index. Yeah, no, I will play. I will get those vinyl pickups in when I get the right guitar, because I have ideas that we've discussed off air of what I'm going to do with them.
Speaking of which, I'm going to probably return my Frankie Relic to Dane.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I love the guitar. It's great. I'm not bonding with it, and I would rather it go to somebody that appreciates it more than me. It's a cool guitar. It plays well. I'm just not bonding with it.
Okay, fair enough. I've moved guitars I can't bond with. I get it.
Guitars. It's not the guitar's fault at all. I think I'm going through a change. Going through the change, Jonathan. Not unlike your mother.
I went through the change the minute I married your father. I thought sex would be good, and then
Rena Spinkle, Dane won't ship to Mesa, and he's located
at the top of a mesa.
Yeah. Yes, Steve Carmichael. I have contacted Dane for a small consulting fee. He's going to tell me the proper return methodology. Yeah, John Marks knows if you pick up a guitar and it just doesn't speak to you, as cool as the guitar is, it's my fault. It's not. I said to the guitar, "It's not you, it's me."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
is it the sound? Is it the sound of it, or just the?
It's just I don't.
Is it depressing? You look at it and you want to play like Eddie, but you can't.
I know. I think it's I just don't think it's. I was never enamored by them to begin with. And I think that the Frankie Relic. I was never enamored with them to begin with. I picked it up, I played it. It plays fantastically. It's definitely the best playing EVH Stripes guitar out there. I mean, it's different than the Stripe series that everybody, if you own a Stripe series guitar, the Frankie neck is different. It's just different. I don't know how to explain it to people. It's the right combination of unfinished and slight oil finish on it. The neck feels worn in. It's like a well-worn pair of sneakers or jeans. It's fantastic, but something about it, I think it's because it's already worn in that I didn't wear it in, and so it doesn't feel like I am responsible for that. It feels like I'm playing somebody else's guitar.
You are.
You know what I mean?
Eddie Van Halen's guitar.
But my point is, it feels like I'm playing someone else's guitar. It's like no matter how, like when you drive somebody else's car, it doesn't feel right. If you
sleep with someone else's wife,
right? Yes, it's not quite the same.
Do you play Van Halen stuff?
I can, yeah, some of it.
But do you? I mean, do you ever? Because I actually have that issue where I only play the Stripe guitar if I'm actually doing the Eddie thing. If I'm not, I don't play the Stripe guitar because it doesn't feel right playing anything else on that style of guitar.
I think that might be it too. I mean, I do have, with humility intended, I have a fairly decent guitar collection. Not as much as what Mancuda has, but it's a guitar that I don't feel like I would pick up for any other reason than to tap out a little Eddie stuff. You know what I mean? I don't feel that I would write a song on it. I don't feel like I would ever take it to a jam session with some friends and play. It's a cool guitar. It's a nice guitar to have, but I have a sneaking suspicion that in the long run, it would end up on the wall.
It's funny. I feel the same way with like signature guitars or certain celebrity guitars. If I pick up like one of Lynch's guitars, the first thing I break into is either Dream Warriors or In My Dreams or Breaking the Chains, or I don't go to let's play AC/DC today. It's like, I'm looking at the skull. The skull's looking at me like, hey asshole,
Well, it's a funny thing that you say that, because whenever I pick up any of the Ernie Balls or the PVs or the Kramers or any of those, the Van Halen style guitars, I don't find myself playing Motorhead riffs on it. Like, I play a style of guitar that's commensurate with the guitar that I'm holding, which is why I have issues with, like, I've got Strats, and when I pick it up, there are only a few guys that I can listen to shred on a Strat, and those are Blackmore and Malmsteen. Everybody else, when playing shred guitar on a Strat, doesn't make sense to me. For whatever reason, each guitar has its own style that it's suited for. And I think that my guitar playing is more suited towards Les Pauls and SGs. And I like that aggressive sound. I like the bigger, fatter neck. I just like the heavier guitar. I like something that's a little bit more. That's why I like the Ernie Balls the most of all the Van Halen guitars, because they're big and they're a little clunkier than the other ones.
Mm-hmm. I think my skill level of playing is more suited for this guitar, for this one. So
sure, yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's why you can put your penis in the sound hole.
Yeah, but not if I want it squeezed tightly. I mean, I want some clenching. I need a smaller hole. In my dreams, it's still the same. My guitar is shit. My singing's lame.
Mm-hmm. John Marks, that's true. Yeah, the Wolfgang. You can play anything on those. I don't have that problem with the Wolfgang. But I do agree. I mean, I guess I said it earlier. The Eddie the Stripe stuff. I'll only play that stuff if I'm actually doing like a lesson with the type of stuff or a recording where I'm doing something in that style.
I think it's so ingrained and associated with that style. Like, if you tried to play jazz on the Frankie, it not only would it look weird, it would sound weird. It just doesn't. You'd be like, well, that's not what that's supposed to be for. Like, what that guitar is for. Like, it's like playing country on a gem. You know what I mean? There's something. You wouldn't go
into the church service and play hymns on the Frankie. It's like.
Yeah, but it's great. I mean, it's a great guitar, and I have no complaints about
Glory to God in the highest.
Because it just doesn't work for me. And it's my fault. It's not the guitar's fault. The guitar, it's by far the best affordable Eddie Van Halen guitar you can buy.
Mm-hmm. It's the best Stripe series yet. They get
certainly
better and better and better. I mean, every time they put one out. So you're saying now that guitar is available. Dane, Zims will have one available.
It will be if I bring, if and when I bring it back to him.
But no shipping.
He probably won't ship it now.
No driving away. You have to walk over there.
Yeah. I mean, you won't. It's not like you have to drive to Blythe, California on a Saturday morning to meet Caleb in a truck stop.
Mm-hmm. How you feel? Are you missing that guitar yet?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have several Ernie Ball guitars. That was the one that I bonded with least. I bought that on a lark. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. We were on the air. We were in the middle of a commercial stop set, and I saw the guitar on eBay and just hit buy now. Like, it was a complete impulse buy.
Wow.
I never really played it. It was just great to have an amber Ernie Ball. But I love seeing the joy that Caleb has with it. Like, Caleb is like, it's like he adopted a new puppy.
Yeah, Caleb drove home. Okay, Paul, see ya. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
No, and I saw.
He had to turn on the inside windshield wipers to clean off the jizz of his windshield.
Oh my gosh!
And I've seen some of the ambers that have sold on Reverb recently, and I regret being such a good friend sometimes because they are out of control.
No, they're high. Caleb has one listed right now. He's making a fortune on that. He's gouging a bit, but he's got one listed up there right now.
I said this on Saturday night. It's his guitar. He can do with it what he wants. I'd be a combination of furious and disappointed. You'd be furious because you're like, shit, why didn't I do that? And then you'd be disappointed. You're like, well, because You try to do the right thing for somebody, and they fuck you at the drive-thru. And I have to take the dog out. Lemmy is yelling. This is the loudest you've ever heard Lemmy on this show. She's like, "Hey, it's time for me to shit. Unless you want me to shit in the house, I'll do it." I'll be right back.
John, do you want to change my pamper, or do you want me to shit in the house? There you go. So so Mother's Day was Sunday, and I bought Mom dinner, and I told her earlier in the week, I said, Mom, just pick out a place, and let me know which one you want, and I'll pay for it, and we'll have it delivered. So you have a nice Mother's Day dinner. And she called me every day through the week, going, well, I'm not sure what I'll feel like on Sunday, but if I could have Japanese food, what do you think? Would those portions be small? Should I go for Japanese food? Because the Chinese food portions are very nice. I don't know why, but the Japanese portions are very small. But then there's Italian food. Do I want pasta? I'm not really sure. Maybe I want chicken. Chicken's good, but do I want it Greek style? Do I want it Italian style? Do I want Parmesan or one of those gyros? I don't know. But then again, I may want mugogai pan. But, I may want sushi, and there's no chicken in sushi. I said, Ma, just pick one. Just, so.
Chicken of the sea.
Yeah, right. This goes on for days. Finally, Sunday morning, I call her up. I'm like, all right, Ma, it's time to order. Not really sure what I want. I think I want Italian, but I got to look at the menu. I said, Ma, come on, let's get the show on the road. So we call up, and she orders, a bunch of stuff, and we hang up, and then she's like, oh, I sure should have ordered the stuffed mushrooms. Well, you said you wanted something else instead. Yeah, no, I know, and that's okay. But of course, I'm just saying I'm getting older, and I don't know if I'll have another chance to have stuffed mushrooms ever again in my lifetime. I mean, who knows? You never know what could happen tomorrow. I mean, not saying that I didn't order enough, but I'm just saying, God forbid something happens, you're probably going to think of that, that I didn't get the stuffed mushrooms this time. Okay, Mom, I'll get you the stuffed mushrooms. Just I'll call up. I order the stuffed mushrooms, and then I call her back and say, you got stuffed mushrooms? Oh, good. That's not, you didn't have to do that. I was just saying you didn't have to do that, but since you did, but I was just thinking maybe I shouldn't have ordered the pasta. Because like the pasta, I don't know. Maybe I feel like a vegetable instead. Should I get a vegetable instead? Well, Ma, do you want a vegetable? Or you want the pasta? I'm just saying I should probably get a vegetable instead of the pasta. If you could see if they could get me a vegetable instead of the spaghetti, I'd rather have that. I think. Okay, Mom, I'll call up. I call him up. Hello, Luigi's. Hi. Yeah, I just called. You called a few minutes ago, right? Yeah. Listen, could I get vegetable instead of spaghetti? A vegetable instead of spaghetti. Okay. I give you vegetable instead of spaghetti. Okay. Thank you so much. And I said, what type of vegetable do you have? He's like, we got broccoli, we got spinach and garlic and oil. It's very nice. So, okay, let's go with the spinach and garlic and oil. Let's go with that. So, okay. So I hang up. I call my mom. Good news. You got spinach coming and garlic and oil and garlic, huh? Oh, I don't know if I feel like too much garlic and oil, and I don't know. Maybe should I get the pasta instead? I mean, spinach. Ma, you could. What do you want? Do you want a different vegetable? You want broccoli? What do you want? Yeah. Oh, broccoli's an option. I like broccoli. Yeah. You know what? Get the broccoli. Get the broccoli. Call back. Hello, Luigi. Yeah, it's you again, huh? Okay. What's the problem now? Yeah, can I get broccoli instead of the spinach? Would that be a problem? Okay. Give you a broccoli. Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you. Call back, Ma. You got broccoli. I've been thinking, I ordered pasta with zucchini and eggplant already. Maybe I don't really need a vegetable. Maybe I should have gone with the spaghetti. You know what? Call him back. I'd rather have the spaghetti. So I call back and hello, Luigi. Yeah, I know who you are. I said, yeah, could I get the spaghetti instead of the broccoli? Okay, this is the last change, right? Last change. You want nothing else? Yeah, that's it. Okay, I give you a spaghetti instead of the broccoli. Okay. No call back no more. Okay, everything okay? Good. Call back. Ma, you getting the spaghetti? Oh, good. That's great. Why is it taking so long though? Well, Ma, you keep changing the order. So now like 90 minutes goes by. The order's not at the house yet. And I'm thinking, I'm only imagining, I'll jerk off on your pasta for you, huh? You make so many change. Okay, maybe I'll rub my ass on your garlic bread, okay? I go like this. This is nice. I do this. It's a dance like a John Biel. I do it like this.
Do you think you could have told that story with a little less racism?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah. So anyway, so the order's not there. I call up. I'm like, yeah, I'm just calling to see if the order's there. Let's say, well, you make us some changes, so to set you back in the line. I say, okay, all right, no problem. So I call Mom back. I say, yeah, all right. I guess I'll wait, but I'm very hungry, John. I'm very hungry. So finally, the order comes, and my mom calls me back later, and she's like, I had to call them. I'm like, why'd you have to call them? Why'd you have to call them? Well, the eggplant in the pasta was very hard, and it was hard like leather. But I told them everything else was delicious. I'm like, I'm sure they were thrilled to hear from you, Mom. I'm sure they took your input to heart. I'm sure they were absolutely thrilled. I'm sure the next time you order, they will absolutely not spit in your food. That was a very good mood. Wonderful, Mom. Thank you. Very good. So there was Mother's Day. So another calm and soothing, stressless meal with my mother, virtually. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. So Mom had a nice Mother's Day without her son. It's better without you here, John. I eat better. Yeah.
My Mother's Day consisted of nothing because my mother has been dead for 7 years. Back to you, John.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible.
Why? I didn't kill her.
No.
How about you, Johnny? How was your Mother's Day?
That was great. Had a great time, man. The
What'd you do?
Lights were flashing.
Oh my God.
The sound machine was going. No, I called my mom and said Happy Mother's Day, and we talked for a little bit, and that was it.
That was it. Did you get her anything? Did you get her stuff?
I thought my story was boring.
Yeah, really. I mean, mine was boring, but at least it was longer. I mean,
yeah. I told them some good news. Good news that I can't talk about publicly yet, but they were excited.
Oh.
Did you get a real job?
Are you carrying? Is someone preggers? Are you gonna have a little baked bean? Paul, I think Johnny's pregnant.
You have to have sex to get pregnant.
Oh, Johnny's not pregnant.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat,
the
great Jay Hannon of the band Gizmachi.
Yes,
word on the street.
Whose new album will be called Barcode. And it'll be just a picture of the four of them sitting in front of a bar.
or behind bars, but it's like a code,
What, Lemmy?
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Little baked bean. Johnny, is Roxy gonna be the stork for you?
I hope so. That'll mean Roxy is back.
Renus Pinkel brings up, Daddy, where do babies come from? This is my Mother's Day joke that I told this morning, which was 10-year-old girl goes up to her mother and says, Mommy, how was I born? And she looks at her and goes, well, baby, years ago, Daddy planted a little seed in the ground. And every week went by, that seed grew and grew into a beautiful flower, which we then dried out, baked, and smoked, and had sex without a condom.
Nice.
And that's how you were born.
Johnny's writing this down. Honey, I know how to do it now. Once the show's over.
Oh. Dang it.
Whoa.
Stop.
What are you piercing my eardrums with the fire alarm for?
Man.
Wow. All right, speaking of having sex, should we get into the Megadeth story that's on everyone's lips right now?
Sure.
Okay, so for those that have or have not been following the news, over the last few days, there's been a lot of talk about David Ellefson, bass player of Megadeth, and what some people are calling a scandal, and some people are saying, scandal, what are you talking about? So here's the skinny. Basically, in a nutshell, at some point, Dave Ellefson was in, I believe, a hotel or alone somewhere, and had some internet relations with a woman. Basically a mutual masturbation on a webcam kind of thing. And this woman, apparently without letting him know this, recorded the sessions. And, it basically got out. She says she released it to a third party, I guess just, talking to a friend or bragging or whatever. And apparently that third party released it. And now there's the question, okay, was this an underage girl that Dave was grooming? It looks like he's grooming an underage girl, for sexual purposes. And, of course, if that were true, that weren't right. So Dave Ellefson released a statement basically saying, look, this wasn't the greatest decision of my life, but this is not what it seems to be. This is, this girl was of age. This girl was consensual, and there's nothing going on other than something that has been released that is an embarrassment to my wife and kids. The band releases a statement. Megadeth releases a statement saying, okay, look, we all know Dave creatively. We know Dave as a member of the band. And, on Dave's personal life, there are some aspects we don't know. We assume innocent until proven guilty, and we will hold out and hope that the truth comes out, and we'll reserve judgment until then. Thank you very much. And then the girl involved releases a statement saying, look, I'm the girl. I was always of age. This was fully consensual. We never met in person. And, to put it mildly, I made a mistake in my maturity judgment of releasing this to a third party that I didn't know would release it to the public. And, I'm sorry for what's happened, but the fact is I'm not a victim. It was all consensual. I'm not being groomed, and I'm certainly not underage. And, listening to that, on looking at the situation with a step back, I mean, I basically see, look, here's a guy that went on someone's webcam to rock one off, which a lot of us do, some like me more than others. The guy didn't want to go, in person with another woman and, cheat on his wife, but he's alone in a hotel. And, he's away from his wife, and, he never thinks that it'll get out. I mean, the fact is we all look at porn, we all look at porn online, be it on RedTube, be it, a porn site or Google Images or someone's webcam or go to a strip club and, get your juice flowing, whatever it is. But the fact is, there doesn't seem to be any victim other than, the embarrassment that's now faced by his wife and kids, and I think that's basically what's resulting in this. Unless something else comes out, I think that's pretty much where we're standing. I don't see a victim. I don't see a crime. And, victim other than, like I said, the embarrassment of his family. But, the fact is, I don't see anything like he wasn't out with another woman. He didn't cheat on his wife. And, if looking at a webcam porn girl is a crime, I think a lot of us are guilty of it,
I've never done that.
No?
No.
Well, maybe tonight. Maybe I don't know if you don't do that, Johnny, because every time you say, "Hey, look, I'm going to tuck in the chickens," I just see your cameras off.
That's code for something else.
I don't hear any noise. I'm thinking you're going to rub one out or get a little with the missus. Show and tell guitar makes Johnny really horny, and Johnny's running for hey, he's showing something. I got a huge Woody, honey, come here. Just.
Who actually gets excited about guitars in that way, though?
Oh, I do. Oh my God. Oh,
in the chat, does anybody actually get excited in that way over
how do you think,
instrument?
How do you think my maple gets so dirty and sticky?
Because that's kind of weird, but yeah, I mean, I basically heard everything you're saying is what I read.
Yeah, I mean, when it's all said and done, the only first of all, it's private. It's none of our business. Somebody made it public, and that sucks. When you're a public figure and you make you have a lapse in judgment, the ripple effect tends to be wide-reaching. Instagram and social media is an environment rife with accusation and judgment and nonsensical inflaming of shit that really is none of anybody's business. This is between David and his wife and his family. If the girl was of age and they were consenting adults and they were on webcam stuff, there's no crime here. There's a little bit of embarrassment. There's a little bit of bad judgment. But when it's all said and done, and in full disclosure, over the 30 some odd years I've been doing this, I have encountered David Ellefson on multiple occasions. I would consider him what we call a radio friend, which means we see each other. Hey, Dave. Hey, Paul. How's it going? That kind of stuff. We're not close friends. His son, Roman, is a friend of mine as well. And I have never seen anything from David Ellefson that would indicate any sort of nefarious intent. I mean, look, if he was alone in a hotel room and he was looking to get his rocks off, better that he does this with a consenting adult on a webcam than going down to whatever the local bar establishment is, finding some girl and engaging in an extramarital affair. It's embarrassing, but to me, it's just a lapse in judgment and nothing more. And by the way, Dave Mustaine should be very careful about how he addresses this, because I think it's great that Megadeth put out their statement. I think it was a very even-handed addressing of the issue, but Dave Mustaine knows what happened in his house, what has gone on in his house, and all musicians know things that happen on the road. There is a code, there is a story. We have been witness to things that, if those events were ever to get out into the public, they would be embarrassing. And in some circumstances, and I'm not talking about the Ellefson or the Mustaine situation, but this is not Twiggy Ramirez. This is not Nick Katane. There are people this is not Marilyn Manson. There are people that are engaged in some really nefarious, underhanded, illegal, criminal, moronic, abusive shit. This isn't that. This is David Ellefson allegedly cranking one out on video with another girl having a video chat. I don't think it's anything that's outside what we consider the accepted norms of behavior in 2021. And I think that this is something that's best left addressed between him, his wife of 27 years, and his family. It's embarrassing. Let them deal with it. And unless something else comes out of this thing, it's a real big, to use the phrase, nothing burger. So I hope David and all parties involved are able to resolve this thing. And credit to the girl for stepping up and saying, hey, I was always of age. And by the way, she also takes responsibility for initiating the contact and initiating the events and initiating the environment. By all accounts, David Ellefson is a good human being who made a bad decision.
And look, if you're going to judge someone on bad decisions, you're all here tonight watching the show. So you're all guilty as sin of bad decisions. Believe me.
David Shea Gomery, if he's grooming minors on Instagram, show me some proof of that. Until you can show me some proof of that, I'm not going to go with it. I'm not going to go with it. The David Ellefson that I know doesn't do that. The David Ellefson that I've met and that I've experienced over the past 30 years is not somebody that. Now, if he does, and if he's involved in that, and that comes out, we'll have another conversation. But as it stands right now, just a bad decision. Just a bad decision by all accounts, a good dude. And we all make bad choices in our life.
Mm-hmm. Especially on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Tuesday
is definitely the day of bad decisions.
Black Salami and look at how many times he posts things about how the show is a waste of time, and yet he's here every Tuesday.
Talk about bad decisions. And speaking of bad decisions, please leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't.
Agreed, David. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit thing, but that's social media, man. Social media is the court of public opinion. Social media is a place where you don't need any proof and you don't need any verification. If you say a story enough times, you repeat it enough times, it becomes true, because it's like any other fish story. The fish goes from being this big to this big to this big to this big and gay with AIDS. I mean, it's ridiculous how we retell these stories, true or otherwise, with no verification and no proof whatsoever, and people's lives are ruined, and that's bullshit. People hide behind screen names and anonymous email addresses, and they make allegations. And we always talk about innocent until proven and guilty in a court of law. But the court of public opinion doesn't have that sort of a standard. The court of public opinion is, if it bleeds, then we should butcher it. I mean, it's just such bullshit.
And it's not even a matter like, again, like, he did it like Pee Wee Herman in a fucking theater or something, where he's like out in public exposing himself. The guy's in the privacy of a hotel room. I mean, what you do in a hotel room is your own business anyway, and you're alone anyway. So, it was just the biggest blame is just, this chick that, that had the webcam. She shared it with someone, and, that someone just basically released it, for whatever reason.
Before you throw stones at David Ellefson, take a good look inside your own glass house and ask yourself if there's not at least one, if not more, incidents of stupidity in your life that you would be incredibly embarrassed if the public found out about. And that's what this is. This is a shit. Now, is this an isolated incident? If this is an isolated incident, I'm doubtful. I mean, people behave in certain ways. Again, which is worse? Him going around and screwing around on his wife, or him being involved in live webcam? Because as John just said, this is even less egregious than going to a strip bar or having a stripper give you a lap dance at somebody's bachelor party. There's no touching, there's no contact. You guys aren't even in the same city, much less the same room. So on the scale of offenses in a relationship, is it innocent? No, it's not innocent, but it's barely a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. It's barely a 1. It's one of the least egregious things you can do.
Yeah, and by far, and look, everyone, look at your right hand right now, if you're a righty, and just say, haven't I thought of other people as my genitals were in that hand? Haven't I? And yeah, the answer, of course, is yes. People like, Mary or Betty White or my mother, or, other people that, are commonly thought of during masturbation. So
Johnny's guitar.
Oh
Johnny's guitar, absolutely.
You had your hand dressed up that one time.
Yeah, no. During the shutdowns, I had my hand dressed up with a wig and a mouth and makeup, and and I mean, I was jerking off live on the show, and then I fucked Jello molds. I'm a deviant, so don't even go by me. Don't even go. Every time I go to bed, I have to turn Blue Rhino around to keep him from getting PTSD. Penis traumatic stress disorder. So,
Mr. Hellstorm brings up a very valid point, and that is, under the new rules of new laws that have been enacted, Ellefson may be the victim of a crime here for revenge porn. there are revenge porn laws now, which basically say if you post pictures of your ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, somebody that you had a relationship with the purpose of embarrassing them publicly, they can recoup damages. And Ellefson may be the victim of an actual crime here, which is, again, bad judgment on his part. But when it's all said and done, I'm guessing his wife is getting a brand new house.
That's pretty funny if you think about it. Wouldn't it be funny if the wife hired the guy to release the video? Listen, I really need a new place. This place is getting long in the tooth. I really need a car. I need a new car. So just release it.
Kobe's wife got a fat ring. Remember that when Kobe Bryant got caught screwing around with that girl in Colorado? His wife got a fat ring out of that deal.
But that was different. That was even in person. I mean, this, this was yanking off the porn.
Yep.
No one's touching him down there. He's not bringing home syphilis or something.
Right.
So I'm just saying.
So good luck to David, and that's that.
Yeah. There we go. One big private matter that's none of our effing business.
Speaking of privates, Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, the scandal of their video from back in the 90s is now an actual like a movie, a miniseries.
Well, it's a miniseries.
Yeah, miniseries about. That's the only thing mini about Tommy Lee.
Yeah, because Hulu, for those that haven't been following along, Hulu is coming out with, let's see what they're calling it, Pam and Tommy, very original title. And it's going to be 8 episodes starring Sebastian Stan as Tommy, Lily James as Pam, and Seth Rogen as the man who obtained the video and released it.
Interesting. Seth Rogen is
12-inch Tommy, as they call him.
I was going to say Seth Rogen taking another weird role.
Seth Rogen has really, really been very sharp with picking roles and producing a lot of cool stuff. I got to give him credit. I mean, he's really got opportunities up and down that I wish I had. And he picks the right ones. He picks some really cool stuff.
Yeah, because he's clearly not a good looking dude. He's an all right.
I got that down. I got that down.
Seth Rogen.
I was told I look like him.
By who?
Michael Anthony.
Hang on,
it's on video.
I'll get there.
There's actual video of him saying, "You look like Seth Rogen."
Did you got that name he dropped, Paulie?
Got it.
It's on my channel.
Got it.
Oh, there he is. That's Seth. That's Seth Rogen, and is that you? Oh no, that's Michael Anthony and you, Johnny. I'm sorry, I thought that was Seth Rogen right there. The similarity is uncanny.
I like Seth.
That Rogen guy.
I like his movies, even though I just
I love his work.
He's a very likable guy and is usually very good in the movies that he's in.
Yeah, very much so. And I think that's going to be very cool. I can't believe they got an 8-episode miniseries out of that, though. I mean, let's put it this way. Motley Crue The Dirt was one movie, right? Was it one night or 2 nights? One night, right?
1 night. It was 1 night. Yeah, it's
one night for a book this thick, which is also reminding me of Tommy's cock. This thick. But I mean, think about that. 8 episodes, 8 full episodes of a series, all based on Tommy and Pam and then leading up to the sex tape scandal. Now, make no mistake, for those of you that haven't seen that sex tape, and I, of course, have not seen it forever since last week.
I don't have it. I don't have it transferred to DVD somewhere.
Yeah, no, I have all the frames lined up on my wall so I can rub one out to specific favorite scenes. Yeah, no, I mean it's almost like watching a medieval joust. kind of like that. So if you've been to medieval times and you've watched the jousting, it's like that. It's kind of like that. But it's an awesome sex tape because, Tommy's the size of my arm, and Pam somehow deep throats that barracuda down her gullet, and walks away with just the tip poking out of her anus. It's amazing, her performance in that film. So I don't know. If you haven't seen it, you should see it just before you watch this mini series, just to kind of warm up. Or if you want to be like, David Ellefson, you're in a hotel room alone and you're looking for something to whack the weed with, I highly recommend that particular tape, the Tommy and Pam honeymoon video.
Aren't they on a boat or something?
Yeah, he beeps the horn of the boat with his dick.
Yeah, it's almost like a submarine, I thought, but then that's actually Tommy's torpedo. So yeah, fire one.
Thank you, man.
He's hung like that too. False flag. You lucky bastard. Oh. Yeah. No, look, I enjoyed the Dirt movie.
We did we actually did. We did a screening of that video at a listener's house.
Which the Dirt?
This is important. I should probably address it.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah, David Ellefson bought a new house. All right, it's right next door, Paul. They're moving in right now. Yeah, no. Look, if you haven't seen that video, it's unbelievable.
I
have no interest in watching that.
You're a Puritan, Johnny. You're a Puritan.
No, I mean, I've never been a fan of Motley Crue.
I know for as sedate as you are on TV, I know that you behind closed shut off cameras, I know your wife dresses up like a nun and rings you in like a schoolboy through the streets. Shame, shame, shame. Johnny's walking naked through like in Game of Thrones, that nun. Are you ready to confess? No, mistress. Shame, shame. You're probably the wildest one out of us.
Probably, but I have no meh.
Yeah, Johnny. Rena's Pinkle says Johnny probably has a dog collar on him. Ben Tom says they play schoolboy. Johnny does all the humility things. I'm sure Johnny and his wife probably get together and like pull a paper out of a hat. Okay, what's tonight's fantasy? Oh, and the next thing you know, cut to Johnny in a fursuit and the wife dressed as a man, and she's like, Alvin, I'm sorry. or pull out the next night, you pull out another piece of paper, and and the next thing Johnny is the is the waitress, and he's dressed in a waitress outfit, and his wife is the angry customer. My order wasn't right. We have to do something about this. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What do you suggest? Well, Johnny dresses as Chipotle waitress or something. This isn't what I ordered. Or the teacher's schoolboy thing. Johnny, come up to the board for number 3. I can't, ma'am. Why not, Johnny? Come up to the board this instant and answer the question in number 3. Yes, ma'am. Johnny, you have a heart on. Yeah, I'll get this one. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, and all sorts of fantasies like this. Johnny dresses as the groundhog, and his wife dresses as Bill Murray with the hose. It's the old Caddyshack fantasy. I mean, it's all endless. I mean, she beats Johnny with pasta. I mean, it's the whole 9 yards. It's the whole 9 yards. I know you have a wild sex life behind closed doors. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
One day, oh, and, it pulls out the next paper. Oh, and, your wife's dressed as a farmer. Wah, 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 wah. And Johnny's in the chicken coop. Bark, 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 bark,
Well, I mean, you're giving me some good ideas. So
yeah, no, I'm sure after the show, this is gonna go gangbusters. Your wife's writing all this down. It's always the quiet ones, Johnny. It's always the quiet ones. See, yeah. I wonder what's happening with Paul over there. I hear gunfire and sirens. I don't know what that's about, but
oh my gosh.
Yeah, John Mark says Johnny's Green Acres. Dun 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 dun.
Hey,
everything all right there, Paulie?
Jehovah's Witness scared.
Are you scared of them?
I have good news about German Shepherds.
He's standing at the door with his little book bag over his shoulder with his pamphlets and all that shit. And I open the door, so I go, no, thank you. Like, I'm trying to be nice about it. And he tries his sales pitch. So I basically let Ace nose the door open, and he starts at the door. I'm like, I told you, man, no thanks. And he was
Johnny's wife right now is writing down Jehovah's Witness and dog trying to get to him wantingly. Uh-huh. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, they were both he and Lemmy were vigorously interested in what he had to say. You want to see an old fat German Shepherd
come to life.
Get really excited. She was all about it. She's actually more aggressive than he is. I know that's hard to think of when you see the video of the way he and I play. But he's still puppy-like in the way he plays, where she is not screwing around. If you get her attention, game on. She's like, this is my house. You know what it is? Get the fuck out.
Let's see. Little House on the Prairie, Jesus Rapes Me says. Yeah, Johnny's gonna be the one running down in the little floral gown, running down the hill meadow,
I always change the channel when that came on.
I've never seen that show.
Always.
I used to have the woman who played Mrs. Olson, the mean old woman, in my building. She literally lived in my building.
No kidding.
Yeah, and she was the character in that she was like that nosy woman that, like, what are they doing over there? It's very funny. Who's moving in? Did you see them? I hope they're not ethnic.
Oh man.
I love the fact that people can't have a good time. So I put a thing up on our Facebook page that the morning show has that I work with, and those things that Jeff Bezos has spent money on. And the first response is, not his workers. Fuck you. Have a good time. Jesus Christ. Not everything has. I can't imagine waking up every morning and being that mad at the world that everything you see out there you have to shit on. This goes back to what we were talking about with the Ellefson thing. People just immediately just want to be like, what a scumbag.
I thought this was going to go back to Johnny making money that we're not on the lights.
If False Flag would stop giving Johnny money,
the show would go out of business.
False Flag, thank you.
Johnny's wife's going to dress up as Music Therapy Laz, and Johnny's going to dress up as Roxy the Parakeet. Oh. I'm staying away from you. I'm staying away from you. Get in this cage. Get in this cage. No.
God.
Jeez.
We miss you, Roxy.
We do
please-
miss you.
please
I
come
hope
home.
Roxy, if you're watching, get in that cage. Music Therapy Labs put the cage outside. So hopefully Roxy will, be flying around and say, "Oh, I know that place," and zip right in. We'll see. I think I'm hoping Roxy will come back.
Oh, there she is.
There
Or
we
there
go.
he is. There he is.
in full Barbara Poplar, Ed Grimley, Ed Grimley.
Ed Grimley. Oh, this bird is soda, I must say. The bird is so decent.
Wilfred
A nice thing, don't you think?
Wilfred Brimley regalia.
Wilfred
Barbara
Grimley.
Papa, Ed Grimley would be a great crossover.
That would be maybe this Halloween.
A decent crossover, I must say.
Nice. Michael B says, "I think this is a 2 brownie show. Those pot brownies are being circulated. Listen, if you're watching right now, now's the time. Grab your edibles because it's only going downhill from here. But leave a thumbs up before you do. There you go.
Does Johnny's dignity have a price? Yes, free, because he doesn't pay for anything.
Vincent Price. Johnny's wife pulls a name out of the hat. Oh, and Johnny's wife dresses up as Grimace. Come here. And Johnny's like dressed as a Shamrock Shake, hopping around in a big cup naked. I'm gonna drink you. I want your creaminess inside me. Oh. Oh boy.
Thank you,
John-
Bartholomew.
Johnny's family.
I agree with you.
Thank you, Bartholomew. This is so
Oh boy. I've just been handed a bulletin. This is something. Former Kiss guitarist Vinnie Vincent has made a collection of handwritten lyrics available for purchase off of his official website. The prices include $3,500 per individual song, $50,000 for a complete set.
Wait,
of all
I'm sorry.
14
I'm sorry. You went in and out for a second. Could you repeat those prices from the beginning, please? You zoomed in and out.
$3,500 per individual song, $50,000 for the complete set of all 14 Vinnie Vincent Kiss handwritten lyrics, $75,000 for a complete set of all 20 Vinnie Vincent Invasion handwritten lyrics, $125,000 for a complete set of all Kiss and Vinnie Vincent Invasion handwritten lyrics. By the way, just for the record, there's no deal there. If you do 3,500 by 14, that's 50,000. If you do 75,000 plus 50,000, it's 125,000. Like there's no discount.
So he's just adding up the numbers.
This is Vinnie Vincent went to the Gene Simmons School of Accounting.
You know what's really funny? I wonder if look, I'll meet you in person with cash. I wonder if you'd show up.
No, because he looks like what's the actress's name?
Jambiel.
The actress that looks like that.
I can't see because Johnny minimized it. Oh, there we go. Boy, that's a tough one.
The girl that was in. She was in.
Was that the girl that David Ellefson was talking to, or?
What the hell is the girl's name? She was in Goodfellas too. She's in a bunch of movies. Huge eyes. Not Fairuza Balk, but the other one. Somebody in the chat will figure it out.
See you, John. John Marks. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you, John Marks.
And I'll talk to you soon, man.
Where does Vinnie Vincent come up with that? For the record, Vinnie didn't make that much money through selling through the whole album. I don't think Vinnie made 75 grand working with Kiss at all. Ever.
By the way, Johnny, Google that picture of that Vinnie Vincent picture, and then A/B it with Ileana Douglas.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Maybe Vinnie was the stand-in. Hi, Alice Martinez.
It's not Debbie Mazer, Mr. Hellstorm. It's not. It's Ileana Douglas. He looks like Ileana Douglas, which is awful. That's an awful thing to say about Ileana Douglas.
He looks like the horse that won the Kentucky Derby recently.
How do you spell that?
Horse.
Illeana Douglas. Look at that picture of Vinnie Vincent, and then put up the picture of Ileana Douglas, and you'll be like, oh my God, they look exactly the same.
Wow.
No.
That's the same person.
Johnny,
No.
why don't you share with the audience so the rest of the audience can see?
That's exact.
We don't know, Johnny. We can't see it
That's
yet.
exactly the same.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Yep,
That's
I know.
exact. The middle picture there.
Holy shit. Wow. I can't even tell which is which.
Yep.
Jesus.
I told you.
If that one wasn't wearing the Vinnie Vincent shirt.
Which one has the looser vagina? That's what I want to know.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
We're like twins.
That's the worst. Yes. I look forward to my cookies. I look forward to tossing them later. Yeah, I mean that's a horrible thing to happen to Ileana Douglas.
Oh my God. Wow. And I mean wow.
Yeah. I'm not wrong. They look as similar as Jamie Lee Curtis and Chris DeGarmo.
And that I know by heart.
Yeah. DeGarmo's got a
Wow.
great set of tits on him. Wait,
Really
what?
does. Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I did.
Wait,
And
what?
I'll never be able to unhear it.
Wait, what?
Right now,
So,
my
yeah,
mother's looking at this.
If you've got hi Ellie, if you've got a few $100,000 sitting around, and you think that Vinnie Vincent's handwriting is worth $3,500 a song, here's the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong; they were pretty good songs, but they're not $3,500 good.
Yeah, I could get a letter written by Abraham Lincoln that costs less than that.
Yes,
And look, I love Vinnie Vincent's work. You all know that. But Jesus, here's another example of he probably just like wrote these down just now.
Well, that's the thing. Is he rewriting them for people? Because if you're getting a handwritten set of Vinnie Vincent lyrics at $3,500, I literally want the lyrics to Exciter that he wrote in 1982 or 83 or whenever it was written. I don't want him to sit down and go, okay, Exciter. And then in an envelope and mail it off to me. The fuck is
And
the
he's
point of that?
gonna sell like 5 of them to different people.
No,
He's gonna send you a photocopy.
Mark, yeah, it'll be a lithograph. Mark Slaughter's not interested because the songs are good.
Yeah. Mark Slaughter's interested in burning them. Wow. So what is the cheapest item you could buy?
$3,500.
And that's for what? One song?
Yeah.
So once one song is sold, what does he sell the other 13 separately?
Yeah.
Then what does he do?
What it appears, as I read this properly, it appears Vinnie Vincent really needs $125,000.
Because that's what it all adds up to.
He's $125,000 in debt. And he thought, how can I do this?
Yeah, Gene probably owes it to Gene.
Well, it has been a while since Kiss has written a decent song. I wonder what Cusano's doing these days. Get Cusano on the horn.
Wow. That's kind of crazy. No, I am curious. What if there's 14 songs in total for sale, right?
I guess, yeah. I shut the article down. I wasn't that interested.
Okay. Okay.
No, I'll look.
There you go. Oh, John, was that you?
Was that you? Oh my God!
Oh.
How could you possibly do that?
You know, Neanderthal looks like a big hulking guy. I'll bet he could open a jar of gefilte fish without thinking about it.
I've often I've often masturbated to pictures of Ernest Borgnine, so I thought maybe.
I'm using my Darth Vader vibrating wand right now. It was a nice gift you got me, John. The Darth Vader vibrator.
Oh, Yeah, there's a total of 20 songs.
20 songs.
Oh,
So
wait, 34. 20 Vinnie Vincent Invasion songs and 14 Kiss songs. So 34 songs for $125,000. Now, I will tell you, as somebody who is invested in the Hypnosis Song Fund, that doesn't seem like a good investment.
I will tell you, as someone who's paid to see Johnny's lights change, that is not a good investment. I don't understand what happens what happens if someone buys a song and then you have, 13 instead of 14. Does he prorate it, or do you say, well, I bought Lick It Up, I bought the best song you ever wrote? I mean, what do I do, Van?
I mean, I think Wayno has it a good point, and that is he is $125,000 away from officially becoming Ileana Douglas.
Huh. Is that what we think the story is?
I don't know that an addictomy or a dick removal process is. I think $125,000 is light, unless you're doing it in a back alley in Tijuana.
Oh, I'm sure he went where, the coat hanger abortion is the $60 special on weekends.
Good morning.
Sure.
Hi, Ellie.
Yeah. $3,500. How many in the chat want to pay $3,500 for handwritten song lyrics?
Hang on a second, Beane. I got your back. Start changing Johnny's lights until we have $3,500, with the stipulation that when he gets to $3,500, he must buy one of Vinnie Vincent's songs.
Oh, I want to see that. I'm in. Hold on. I'm sending my Venmo right now.
Yep. Do that right now.
Yeah.
Everybody put some money in until Johnny Beane gets $3,500, and then he must buy one of. But we get to pick what song it is.
Oh yeah.
Not
absolutely.
for the innocent.
I love that. Wow.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
$3,500.
Guys,
the minimum.
This is amazing.
The money's pouring in.
Wow.
It's like a disco strobe. Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Now you're just fucking with us.
Yeah. My mother right now. Oh, I would have loved a song lyric. That would have made a very loving Mother's Day gift. I'm just saying. Love Kills is a favorite of mine.
Let's buy your mother Fits Like a Glove.
Speaking of gloves, I sure wish I had the fist right now.
Really?
The old iron fist.
Speaking of which, I think I'm going to be on somebody's podcast regarding Motorhead. I forget, somebody's stream on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Would it happen to be named after a dessert?
Yes, Fruitcake Tony, I believe, is doing his stream in a tribute to Motorhead. Why, are you on the show as well?
No, but you would be the right guest for that one. I'll be on the one that he does on Great White.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do a show on Motorhead on Saturday. Fruitcake Tony. I think it's on right before Saturday Night Live, and I will probably bail out of Saturday Night Live because of it. Because I think that's what you do, right? You do somebody's show, and then you don't do the one you're supposed to do.
Thank you, Tony.
Hang on a second. Alexa, what is a Nez doll?
Oh man, what are you going there for?
Because I was supposed to be on his show, and he fucking completely ghosted me. I don't know why. For whatever reason, David, if you're watching this, and I know you're not, I don't know why you're mad at me. I don't know why we're not friends anymore.
Wait,
I don't know what the fuck happened.
There we go.
I don't know what happened. I was supposed to do your show. We had a good conversation. You, me, and Ty had a great conversation.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do the show together.
You, me, and Ty and I were having a good conversation about the show.
We were supposed to do the show, and then you ghosted. You went away. I don't know what happened. Was it something I said? Did I make a joke at your expense? I don't know what went wrong. David, call me. Call your mother.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I
did
have no
not
idea.
see that coming. I don't know. Wow. Okay.
I was supposed to do a show, and then I'll call you back and we'll set it up. And it's been almost a year.
And my girl Sandra Picorni is back in the chat. Sandra, were you here when we sang your song? I thought I saw you here earlier. I sang your song.
Go ahead, John. The floor is yours.
Bacardi, Bacardi, Bacardi. We love you long time. We love you long time. Vinnie Vincent, Vinnie Vincent, Vinnie Vincent. I'm not paying $3,500 for your fucking stupid lyrics.
That's the other thing. When I think of Vinnie Vincent, I think songwriter. I don't think shredding guitar player. I think songwriter.
I don't think burying frozen dogs and not showing up for events or ripping off customers. I don't think of any of those things.
Ileana Douglas is like, bitch stole my look. Hey, Johnny, can you tell your wife to hold the dishes down there, man? Get some of that noise. Is she doing dishes? It sounds like she's doing dishes. Not even that.
Johnny, if you don't get a new sound machine with all that money you make, I don't know what the fuck.
All of a sudden,
I can't find them.
Can you just get the batteries? The batteries can come out of this. Just open the back and replace the batteries.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Jeff T. Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah, there should be you should be able to get batteries, Johnny.
Yes.
if you want to make a donation for Johnny's battery fund,
change the lights. If Johnny doesn't have it by next week, you get your money back.
I don't know which is worse, Johnny with a sound machine or Johnny with a half-broken sound machine.
Here, hold on. Let me get the applause.
Or Johnny as Miami sound machine. Come on, everybody, do the conga.
I love Craven Soda. Fuck Martinez. Fuck Martinez.
Wow.
Fuck Navarro. Fuck Navarro. Wow, you really pulled the Luke LP out of your ass.
A Luke fucking reference. You don't get mad. I love the Luke album. I
love the Luke album too.
And in the USA.
Yeah, I was.
It's awful. It's awful. It's great.
It's perfect.
Now I have to.
It's perfect. Sandra brings up a good point. We have 118 watching live in the chat room alone, and only 56 likes. Take a second, hit the like button on the video, because it's free. I ain't charging shit. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love the Luke LP. That is a great piece of Two Live Crew history.
Luke, I am your father. Goddamn right, I own this.
I own it too. I play that whole thing through.
I own this. It's interesting. I don't know why I own so much Two Live Crew.
The Luke LP. I love that. I love that CD.
There you go.
I think I have it on cassette too.
Proof that I'm not just into bad hair bands. We have Nasty as You Want to Be.
Which happens to have a variation of the Sandra Picorni song on it.
Right. And we have Sports Weekend, I think this is the second one. Oh, no, Live in Concert.
Can't miss that.
Yep. Can't have some Two Live Crew Live in Concert. Then we have, of course, the Luke album.
Which is phenomenal.
Yep. And then we have Sports Weekend.
And Two Live is what we are.
So yes, not just talking 80s metal, but if it's ridiculously offensive hip hop, this guy owns it.
Emphasis on the ridiculously offensive. And I have the same collection. I love all that stuff.
I bought it on principle because they tried to ban it.
Yeah.
When Nick Navarro, that's the guy when he was talking about fuck Navarro, sheriff of Broward County, Nick Navarro tried to have the Two Live Crew rendered obscene. It was a First Amendment thing that happened back in the 80s. Kids, when shit like that happens, you have a responsibility to go out and give them your $13.99 for their filthy CD. And so I did. I bought it on principle, and then I realized I like it.
It was good.
Yes, it's great hip hop. I love old hip hop. Ghetto Boys are fantastic, Mike, but you got to spell it right. It's Geto. Ghetto Boys.
Ode to Tipper Gore, Renus. Wasn't that on the Warrant?
That's
CD?
on Warrant. Yeah,
that's on Cherry Pie, right?
It's on the unedited Cherry Pie, which here somewhere.
It's Janie Lane, rest in peace, saying fuck at all these live shows, which he dropped the F-bomb like as many times as Pearl Harbor.
It's on the bottom. You can barely read it, but Ode to Tipper Gore is the last song.
Yeah, I love that one.
And there's also a great one that Anthrax did on the Return of the Killer Bees CD called Starting Up a Posse, which was hilarious as well. So. Do you
remember on one of the Hurricane CDs, I forget which one, there was a song called Little Snakes? Do you remember that song? Baby Snakes.
Yeah, it's basically the answering machine message.
It's this answering machine message.
You're gonna see our band. We are awesome.
We are awesome.
Jeff. Look, hey, it's Jeff. We met the other night. It'd be great. We're playing my band. We are awesome.
Great. We're great. And Jeff, I don't want to go out with you that night or any night.
Any night. Yeah.
So he keeps calling back and leaving messages on the answering machine. Finally, the phone rings. The phone rings. The little girl answers. Hello. Is Sandra there?
Is this Jeff?
Yes,
She's
it is.
Not home. She's not home.
Click. Hello. Hello.
If you want, I think I forget who from the Ghetto Boys, but I have one of his solo records, not Bushwick Bill, but I have one of the other Ghetto Boys solo records. I've also got the DOC, who was a hanger-on with NWA, but I got like 4 or 5 Ghetto Boys records. Ghetto Boys were awesome. Read these Nikes.
The DOC playing with opening for Dio.
Yes,
opening for Dio. The DOC.
Yep. That's the funny thing about it. If you go through my CD collection, you see the usual suspects: the AC/DCs, the Deep Purples, the Kisses, the Van Halens, Loudness, Laws Rocket, whatever band you're looking for. And then you come across Ghetto Boys. You're like, wait a minute,
what's this? What's this?
And then you realize, "Let a Hoe Be a Hoe" is a great song. There's a great lyric. It's
a love song.
I forget which, and Wayno would be able to tell me. Was it "Read These Nikes"? Was the one where the lyric was, "Shut up, bitch! You're pissing me off. I'm about to bust you in the goddamn mouth." We laughed and we grabbed the kids. Hi, Ellie. We grabbed the kids. We sat around the radio. It was so much fun.
Honey, play D's Nuts.
Oh, they were awful. They were an awful band. I have so much of their shit. I love Ghetto Boys. Ghetto Boys, BDP, EPMD. I mean,
OU812, 5150, BJ for me.
That is art, not profit. Yes, we've heard of Mahogany Rush, except for most people don't know who they are. Frank Marino is a fantastic, underrated guitar player, but the only person in modern guitar that references him is Zakk Wylde.
The Zakk Attack. Let's shift gears for a minute. Let's talk about. I hate to bring the show down, but we have to give tribute real quick to Judas Priest's early drummer John Hinch. Just passed away at 73. If you have their Rock-a-Rolla album, which came out in the early 70s, he was the drummer on there. He just passed away. So sad news for Priest fans. And on another note, I know you guys touched on it Saturday, but we should definitely talk about it here. Tawny Kitaen, 59 years old, passed away.
Still no official cause of death.
Yeah, and that
That means suddenly, and suddenly means bad.
Yeah, you know what that usually means. I won't say it, but the speculations start. But I mean, we actually
she was an unhappy girl. She was unhappy.
She had a lot of substance abuse problems over the years. I mean, obviously, she's best known as the video girl in the Whitesnake videos. But she also was on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew, Sober House. Sober, was it Surreal Life, Sober Living, Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. She was on Botched, which is, playing with her plastic surgery days and fixing things. She has 2 kids from her ex-husband, baseball player Chuck Finley,
who she used to beat the shit out of.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. She I remember in the news, this was between 99 and I think 2002 or 3. She was married to Chuck Finley, and who's a big athlete and stuff, but she was getting arrested for domestic violence against him.
One of the first times I remember of celebrity domestic violence where it was female on male. I had never seen that before. I'd never seen, I mean, like there was a point where they were driving down, I don't know if it was the PCH or whatever it was, and she was beating the shit out of him with a shoe. And he called the police while she was mid-attack at the time to have the cops meet them when he pulled over. And I was like, what kind of a guy calls the police on his wife beating the shit out of him? And I thought, a smart guy.
Yeah.
Because the minute you raise your hand to defend yourself, she changes the narrative and the police arrest you and you end up in cuffs. And I don't think I'm going out on a limb here. Domestic violence is bad.
Oh yeah.
And she was, I mean, there's an argument to be made that Tawny had some demons that weren't chemically induced, that they might have been mental. And she had some issues. And it's unfortunate that she was never able to sort of get a hold of those issues. She was an attention whore. I mean, when it's all said and done, she was an attention whore. And I mean that in the most positive way that I can. But when she was a kid, she went backstage at a Peter Frampton show, saw the way Peter Frampton's girlfriend and or wife, I don't know who it was at the time, was treated. She saw the way the wife of a rock star was treated as a VIP and almost like a queen, a backstage queen. And she said, that's what I want to be. And she ended up becoming that. So kudos to her for seeing her dreams come to the end, come to fruition. But that's what she always wanted to be, and that's what she became.
Most girls see women backstage and said, so I could suck off the security guard
only to get 3 roadies to get me
to get to the roadie, to get to the other roadie, to get to the drummer.
Yeah, no, she saw Peter Frampton's wife or girlfriend and saw her future. And she was able to make that happen for a brief period of time with both David Coverdale. And then when that sort of dried up, that well dried up, she went and started hanging out with athletes, pro athletes.
Well, first she was dating Robin Crosby of Rat.
Right, of course.
And for those that don't know.
Well, actually, before that, I think she was dating Pete Angelus.
I wasn't aware of that even.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pete Angelus, who was the lighting director and road manager for a while for Van Halen, who went on to be one half of the world famous Picasso brothers with David Lee Roth. He's in all those funny David Lee Roth videos.
Right.
Yeah.
The fabulous Picasso brothers.
Yeah, he was the thin Picasso brother. If there ends up being any conversation, I don't need to be involved. Forget about it, Dave.
Forget about it. And then let's see. So she went with Robin Crosby. She was on the cover of 2 of the Rat albums. The original one with Time Coast, where you see the rats crawling up the leg.
That's stockings,
her leg. Yeah. And then on Out of the Cellar, she's the girl on all 4s on the cover. And then in the Back for More video, she's the girl. She's the video.
And maybe the greatest legs in the 80s. She had
really pretty girl.
Legs.
Really pretty good. Great hair.
And when it's all said and done, she did act opposite of Tom Hanks. She was in a Tom Hanks movie.
Bachelor Party. She was there before. She was there before she was in the Whitesnake stuff. Remember? So she was already established as an actress. Well,
Yeah, I know.
I know I wasn't in one of Tom Hanks' movies.
Exactly. That's the thing. We can shit all on Tawny Kitaen all you want.
Yeah.
But she was in a movie with
Tom
with
Hanks.
Tom Hanks. And it's interesting because fellow video vixen Bobby Brown has spent the past 2 or 3 days since the announcement of Tawny's passing, posting videos of them hanging out in her apartment. And it's clear that women, that they were both sort of eternal children. They were definitely, they stopped maturing at a certain level, and they just were kind of like, you know, it's almost like that scene in Knocked Up, where it's like, you know, you bitches is old. You need to, I would love to, you're beautiful, but it's time for you to grow up and do something different with your life. That never happened for Tawny or for Bobby Brown. They're still sort of living in that existence, for better or worse. And unfortunately it ended in a bad way for Tawny.
Yeah, no, I noticed Bobby Brown posting you know, buddy videos with Tawny.
Yeah.
They're both, you know, they're both out here. You know, Bobby's I think in LA somewhere, and or maybe Malibu or somewhere around there.
She just moved back to Nashville. She's got family in Nashville.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She's either back to
out
her.
here.
She may be back out there. I know that she made a big
I thought
trip.
she was out here. I thought she
It's
was
very
out
possible.
here. And then
also,
and
and
Tawny was
Tawny-
in Newport
Yep.
Beach.
and famously was banging OJ while he was married to Nicole Brown.
She sure can pick him.
She makes bad, you know, again, we talk about bad decisions. You know, David Ellefson's bad decision and Tawny Kitaen's bad decision. Let's compare and contrast. Sometimes you get into a series of bad decisions. Whatever it was that tormented Tawny, hopefully she's finally found peace.
Paulie.
What?
This is that moment I was talking about when Johnny hears something that turns him on and he goes off to masturbate. Look. See, I knew it. He's changing his own lights right now. See? I knew it.
I just had to get a drink of water.
Yeah. And a
Mhm.
fistful
But you
of
had to
lotion.
But you had to shut your camera off for that?
Yeah.
You're suspect, Beane.
I'm sure there's some liquid flowing, but it ain't water. No, look, I think you know, I think the thing about Tawny is she had so many substance abuse problems over the years, and I think you're gonna get that when you're like he's gone again. He's making all the money and he's not even here.
You know what we should do?
Damn it, Beane.
You know what we should do? Nothing.
I'm really horny right now. I really want to rub one out. Oh, Johnny, have you come to join us? Have you?
Hey,
Oh, look, Johnny Beane is making an appearance on the Johnny Beane channel.
Johnny's coming back with a smoking jacket and a martini. He's like Hugh Hefner. Oh, is the comedy over? Yeah. No, but the thing about Tawny is, you know, like I said, she was around that scene like early on.
Yeah.
And look, that scene, as you know, Paulie, and Johnny, you might know it too, just drugs everywhere, just free. You know, you get
that was the
offered
weird
stuff all
part.
the time. I never
don't
touch
know-
a thing, but I get offered it all the time.
I will tell you, having been there on several coasts at the time and even later on after the fact, I don't know who was making money off the drugs because they were free. Everybody had them. I mean, we went to these parties in LA, and I mean, and the Rainbow and at the Beverly Hilton and all these things, and the little brown envelope would come out and the fucking gackware. It would be, now I'm not a drug guy, so somebody has to
Same
watch
here.
the door. Somebody has to watch the door, but looking at all the cocaine and pills and shit that was around at the time, I don't know who was making money off of it. I would assume that all of it was clearly, it was like a Tupperware party. They brought it out so that you would get hooked, and then, you know, oh, if you need
That's
some,
what I'm thinking.
call me.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know what I mean? But because that
Yeah.
was never my thing. I like anything left in that bottle. I'm good with that.
I say
was-
the same thing at Costco. I say, how are they making money on these tortilla chips? They're free. I'm taking a couple.
But of all of those parties, I don't know who made the money, but there was an awful lot of money spent on party favors at the time.
Oh,
and
sure.
Tawny and the entire crew of people that were in that scene at the time certainly indulged and partook in more than their share. I just don't think Tawny was ever able to break from it. Now we don't know how she passed, but the longer they go without a cause for death, the more suspicious the cause for death is. They just kind of hope it'll go away and people will stop asking.
Oh yeah, and again, we could speculate all we want. We'll see what the coroner report says, but usually when stuff like this happens, it seems to be the same result. Usually, David Coverdale went after her. No, that's not what I'm talking about. No, it's often substances or something like that. But we'll see.
Well, she really went off on him recently.
Yeah, and we tried to get her on the show.
On
We
her
reached
Instagram.
out to her. We reached out to her a couple of weeks ago because, like Johnny said, she ripped Coverdale an asshole. I mean, we were talking about this a few weeks ago. She went off on Coverdale on Instagram saying, "I'm going to write a tell-all book and tell everyone how abusive you are and all the shit about you that people will be shocked to find out," and blah, blah,
And then
blah.
he had her killed.
Yeah, and then Coverdale's cover up, but I don't know. I mean, jokes aside, it's sad because she is, to our generation, like one of those really iconic sex symbols that you just see over and over and over again. Those videos are just classic 80s.
What I'll say is Tawny Kitaen was the first professional accessory that I ever saw. She was somebody who was famous for being connected to famous people before, because her being connected with Robin Crosby, being connected with OJ, being connected with David Coverdale completely overshadowed her acting career. And remember, she was in a bunch of movies. She was in Witchboard. She was in, obviously, The Bachelor Party. She was on the new WKRP in Cincinnati.
I was about to say she was part of a TV series of the new WKRP, which was in the 80s and brought back those popular characters.
Yeah, but she was certainly the first professional accessory.
Sure,
she and Bobby Brown were the two that everybody could name. When you thought about girls in videos, you're like, oh, look, Bobby Brown is in this video and in this video and this video.
Hurricane and Warrants, Cherry Pie, and
Tawny Kitaen was the same thing. She was one of those. She was more famous for being an accessory.
The original video vixen.
She was a Kardashian before the Kardashians. And again, and that's not meant to be detrimental or degrading to her. That's what she. Again, as I mentioned, she wanted to be connected to the famous rock star because she loved that life, and she got to live it.
Sure.
Until she couldn't anymore, and then she got tired, and who knows what happened.
Well, did you hear the story of how she got the job in the Whitesnake video? How it actually went down?
It was originally prepared. That position was originally offered to Claudia Schiffer.
Claudia Schiffer, who was doing Guess Jeans commercial at the time, very hot property, obviously did very well on her own anyway. But yeah, Claudia Schiffer could have very well been and was supposed to be the Whitesnake girl. And the night before the video shoot, Coverdale, who's dating Tawny now, basically gets a call from the director of the video, says, "Hey, you got to come over and we got to talk about some stuff. We got some issues with the video shoot tomorrow. Come down. Let's just have a quick meeting of our heads." He takes Tawny with her on their way to dinner. They go to the director's house. Director opens the door. Before anything's said, he says, "Oh my God, she's the girl we should have in the video. She's the girl." And again, this is when, Tawny's like in her perfect prime, very pretty girl, shocking with the big red hair and, looking very, like she did. And she's like, what? And he's like, "I want you in the Whitesnake videos. We have another girl, but I can get rid of her. We want you to do the videos starting with tomorrow's shoot." And, David's like, "Well, she's an actress, she isn't really, and she's like, "Well, I did, I did things for, Robin when I was dating him. I could do them for you too. So yeah, I'll do it." Okay. I don't think anyone expected those videos to blow up the way they did.
Well, the poor editing of the "Here I Go Again" video was probably pretty instrumental in it because that was the first nipple I'd ever seen on MTV.
Yeah, I think you could still see that in some copies of it now.
No, they've edited it since then. But for those that don't know,
what about the home video version?
Probably, yeah, because that came out first before they made the editing. But if I mean, and there's a screen cap of it out there. There's this part in the video where Tawny is leaning out the side of Coverdale's Jaguar. They're in a tunnel, and the wind is blowing, and it blows her green dress open, and she's not wearing a bra. Now, she wasn't particularly well endowed to begin with, but this material comes away from her chest, and you clearly see her left tit on the video.
I didn't get pussy.
And I remember the first time we saw it, when we would used to tape Headbangers Ball, turn and look at Wayno. I go, Wayno, stop that. I think I saw a nipple. And we reversed it, and we were like, oh my God, there it is. I can't believe that made it past the censors. And it did for a long time.
That's funny. I think I saw a nipple. It's like when we're playing with the cable box when it's all scrambled and you're trying to watch the Playboy channel. Yeah. Hold on. I thought I saw a nipple.
I saw a nipple.
No, it's a lemon. That's a lemon. That's a nipple.
I'm good, man.
So she was
and hey, Fruitcake Tony, who came in.
She was certainly a pioneer when it came to that. When it came to video girls, and between her and Bobby Brown, I think if you can name another video vixen, I don't know that you can. I mean, it was those two and everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else, this girl appeared in a video, but you never knew their name. They never achieved big fame like her and Bobby Brown did.
Except for when, what's her name? There's a porn star.
John Biel.
John Biel?
Stephen Franklin, thank you so much, man.
Hang on.
Thank you, Stephen.
I'll find her.
Is that her?
That's her on Family Guy. So
yeah, that's Tawny Kitaen. There you go.
Allegedly.
If you become a cartoon of something,
yeah,
you've made it.
Why is she blonde?
I don't know if it's Family Guy or is that American Dad?
It's Family Guy.
Oh, it is.
It's from her account. Yeah, she's talking about it.
But why is she blonde? Why isn't she redhead?
Yeah, but guys, Alicia Silverstone doesn't happen before if Tawny Kitaen and Bobby Brown don't become the idea of the video vixen doesn't exist before Alicia Silverstone or Janine. Yes, Janine's in one. There's a porn chick that was in Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2 too. Terry Weigel. Terry Weigel is one of the Miss Gazzari's dancers at the end when they're doing the question and answer period on the dais, and she's like, oh, I'm going to get on. I'm going to use this as a stepping stone to my acting career.
How'd that work out for you? Yeah, just get on your knees and that. Yeah, acting career. That's a good point. Someone brings up who is it? Renus brings up the chick in the Poison Fallen Angel video. She was also very hot.
Yeah,
I forget her name though.
There was the girl that was in the Way Cool Jr. video too. Was in a couple of other videos. She was in, I think, Get It While It's Hot by Kix. She was also in the Way Cool Jr. video. You know why? Because Kix and Rat sounded almost exactly the same. So why not get the same girls in the videos?
Oh, sure.
Except for Kix was way more funky than Rat, which I loved. Kix was like if Rat and Extreme had a baby.
And let's see, you have the I forget the blonde, not Bobby Brown, but the other blonde that was in the White Snake video, Twice Shy and Once Videos. Yeah, and Rock Me, the girl that was also in the Rock Me. No. Let's see. Who else? Also the blonde in Kicks Rats Lay It Down. Also very, very hot. But again,
Jessica Hahn was already famous before she did the Sam Kinison videos.
Yeah, she was already famous from that scandal with the priest.
Mm-hmm.
Judas Priest?
No, because as we found out after the fact, Rob didn't like girls.
Baker.
Was it John Baker?
Yeah, Jim Baker.
Jim and Tammy Faye Baker.
There's also another porn chick in the Kiss Exposed video I forget her name, but she comes out and serves them. She's dressed in a maid's outfit. She comes out and serves them drinks on the patio as some chick that was in porn.
But again, here we are fighting to know who these girls' names are, but we all know Tawny, Kitaen, and Bobby Brown, right?
Yeah, that's the point. And yes,
Yeah.
James Henderson, I did say Kix was way more funky than Rat. Yes, they were more funky. There was more funk in Kix music than there is in Rat music. Rat music is not funky.
I don't consider Kix music funky.
Oh, man. I mean, Cold Shower, Sex, those are funky songs. Get It While It's Hot, those are funky songs. No Ring Around Rosie.
I don't look at it as funky.
A lot of hair metal actually has an element of funk in it.
Some of it, yeah.
If a lot of it actually, yeah.
I mean, nobody does it
Extreme.
better than Extreme. Extreme is the
Yeah,
best,
Extreme did.
best funky metal band, hard rock band out there.
Yeah.
And
And sound barrier.
Yeah, but Extreme was so good at it. I mean, Nuno has a thing that in his right hand, a funk in his right hand that very few guitar players, short of Edward Van Halen, have.
I had some spunk in my right hand, but that was before I did the show earlier today.
No, Bruce, it wasn't Christy Canyon. It was Blondie B. was her porn name. I forget her real name.
Samantha Swallow, I think
Yeah.
was her name. By the way, t-shirt today. Check this out. Dr. Doom, baby. Vincent Von Doom.
Nice.
One of my favorite Marvel villains. That's the shirt of the day. Look at that. Damn you, Reed Richards. Fucking A. Supervillain team up. Dr. Doom.
James Henderson, there's no such thing as groove rock. It's funky metal. It's funk metal. It's what Extreme were known for. And there are other bands that did it too. White Trash did it. Kix did it. I'm trying to think of other bands that nobody really did it successfully though. That's the weird part, is not many bands did it successfully.
Leave a thumbs up for Dr. Doom. If you're semi-evil, leave a thumbs up for Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom's pretty kick-ass.
Dr. Doom is one of the best villains.
I always thought it was very difficult though, because obviously so much of Dr. Doom's costume was steel or iron, and I thought, well, that you can't be very agile while having a very heavy steel mask. And when we saw what it did to Kevin Dubrov's hair.
Well, he's got technology behind him. I mean, Doom,
Right.
Doom, I mean, it's an armor. Think about Iron Man. Iron Man's in armor. Doom's in armor. When Iron Man battled Dr. Doom, that's awesome. In the comic books, if you're following, Iron Man 150 and 250. Just saying, not counting Avenger battles. Just saying, next level nerd shit, as Paulie likes to say.
Yep, that's some next level nerd shit.
Next level
yes.
nerd shit.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Somebody brought it up. Kix did play Les Paul guitars primarily, although one of the guys played a Strat.
True.
That was one of the few instances of a Les Paul guitar being used in a funky way in that era. And by the way, Slash plays with a lot of funk in his playing. His
Slash
right hand's
does,
got Slash's got a lot of funk, a lot of Prince in his right hand.
Mhm.
Which is good.
That music has a lot of funk in it, whether you notice it or not. I mean, if it wasn't for like James Brown and stuff like that,
Well, yeah,
a lot of that music
Well-
wouldn't be what it came to be, with the singing, with the screaming.
yeah. I
The
mean,
guitars,
the
the beat,
Jimmy Nolan is a very
the bass.
a very underrated influence on that style of guitar. Vernon Reid doesn't have a style if it's not for Jimmy Nolan. I mean, there's that sound, that Strat sort of chicken pickens, accent sound that you heard in the old James Brown stuff. Yes, that's what. Look, one of the things that's great about the hair bands that we love is, and we talk about this with AC/DC, you can shake your ass to it. It's got a beat, it's got a groove, it's got a rhythm to it. That's what makes that music so much different than thrash. Thrash, you can't dance to thrash. Even moshing is basically punching people in a circle. But when you heard something like Red Light, Green Light, TNT from Kix, or you heard Funky Metal Holiday or Kid Ego from Extreme, or even Cherry Pie or Walk This Way, or any of those songs.
Funky Cold Medina. I like that song. Funky Cold Medina. She said her name was Sheena, but it was a man. I like that song. The rest, meh, I don't. Come here, you. No, ow. Fuck
Yeah,
you,
I would.
David Cosby.
I would respectfully disagree with you, James Henderson, regarding Vernon Reid. Vernon Reid can play anything he wants to, and he can solo. The idea of that solo, and I just had this conversation with Dane Zimmerman at Zim's Guitars in Mesa yesterday.
Home of a Van Halen guitar going.
When you picked up the guitar, or when you took it back?
No, I haven't brought it back yet. But it's we talked. It was Philip McKnight and Dane and myself and a couple other people talking about the solo and Cult of Personality and the frenetic, sort of out of control nature of Vernon Reid's solo in that song. It's deliberately done that way. It's deliberately done a million miles an hour and frenetic because it was supposed to be the energy and pushing against the edges, and it wasn't supposed to be a melodic solo. Vernon Reid can play whatever he wants. That solo was deliberately done because as frenetic and as weird and as haphazard and cacophonous as it is, when they get to the one, he's back where he's supposed to be. He knows exactly where he's going. He knows exactly where he's going. Vernon Reid is one of the more underrated guitar players out there.
Terrific. And speaking of out there, shout out to my girl, Susan Silvestri. How are you, Susan? Thank you for joining us today. Today on Waste of Time Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
As we call it.
Did you text me? Was that you? You know, I've got this phone number right down there. Anybody
I just see this vagina pic. I don't know whose it is, but all it says is, oh wait, something shaven into it. Mama Coot. Oh,
wait, is that
Nothing
the
to
menu at
see
Subway?
here. Nothing to see here.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that was you. This goes for anybody. If you're looking to keep track of a video on YouTube, click the set reminder button on any video that's sitting there, and you'll get an alert before they go live.
Oh, nice. So they could do it with this show if they want to see this show right from the beginning without missing a minute. Because all the best stuff happened. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but they don't want to miss it.
It happens when the camera goes off.
It sure does. That's when we all get naked. You know, everyone thinks like we just go off the air. Newsflash to the audience. We don't actually go off the air. We stay behind and have a powwow between us. And usually it involves with us ripping our clothes off and swinging it in the air and, playing rap music and, the occasional sailor hat, like that. There we are. There's John Biel in a behind the scenes image.
With Colonels.
With Colonels, now's the time. Colonels delicious gourmet popcorn. Go on to Colonel's website, Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn, and check out what they have for you. Check out all the flavors of popcorn. Check out their chocolates and candies and sugar-free chocolates. Check it all out. And when you mention Johnny Beane or Jay Hannon, holy hell, good God, oh my Lord, you get more product. More product. Plump up there, fatso. You get more product. No, and I love it, man, and I'm addicted to that movie popcorn and some of the sugar-free chocolates I like. I mean, just great stuff. Colonel's Gourmet Popping Corn. Thank you, Colonels.
We love you, Colonels.
We do love Colonels.
So does Ace.
Yes, Ace loves Colonel. When Paulie opens a bag, Ace is chomping at the bit there.
He heard something that got his attention. Woke him up from a sound sleep. He was just sort of laying there, and all of a sudden he was up on all fours, and I wonder if he had a bad dream.
Most people fall asleep during our show.
Yeah, usually. If we can put this dog down, we can put anybody down. Now, see, putting the dog down is not a phrase I want to use.
Oh,
that's not good. That's not
hey,
oh, hey, oh,
oh, hey, oh, hey, oh.
You really should do the guitar because we have to end this thing in a half hour.
It's only 2:03. It's a 3-hour show.
We have to be done at 8:00 according to our producer.
We said 3 hours. We said 3 hours. Johnny said
Huh?
8:50.
No,
Johnny
we
said
started. We
Johnny
started
said-
late. We
Whatever
started
we
like
s-
half an hour
3 hou-
late.
3 hours
But-
after we start.
No. John said he had to be done at 8
John
o'clock.
said 8:15. Quote.
Now
Eight-
you're going.
Well, yeah, 8:15. Technically, I'm shutting it off because I've got a premiere at 8:15.
There you
So-
go.
Oh, so he's
There you
got
go.
something way more important than us.
Yeah, something that actually entertains people is what he's saying. Something that he likes. That's what it is.
Now
It's
I'm going
the-
to have.
It's the Johnny Bean Smooth Jazz Hour. Smooth, settling jazz. Smooth.
By the way,
jazz.
just to go back to that that conversation regarding
That
or
guitar
the-
solo.
Putting
yeah,
dogs
that thing-
down.
That no, Vernon
Oh.
Reid is a jazz guitar player. I mean, he was influenced by guys like McLaughlin and Coltrane
Mhm.
and his stuff. What he does in that song is brilliant. I know people think it's
Oh, yeah.
sloppy. It's not. The song is frenetic. It's like it's supposed to be this close to exploding. That's the whole point of it. And it's really actually a lot of box patterns in G. It really is brilliant. And Living Color are brilliant. It's a band that never really because Living Color are so difficult to put into a little box musically. They'll
I
never
like
get the
those
credit.
box patterns.
Yeah, they'll never get the the credit they deserve.
Oh,
Ever.
Living Color is brilliant. Living Color is brilliant.
And what a
Cult-
singer, man! What
Cult
a
of
voice.
Cult of Personality. If you haven't heard even just that one song and just like screamed with just excitement at the energy put out in that one song, just when he starts belting out the vocals to those guitars, talk about a high energy song, and he takes it right to the fucking end.
Right?
Personality, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
brilliant.
not what your country could do for you. And you know,
It's brilliant.
it really is. It really, really is a great high energy song. But I mean,
Yeah.
that whole album is great. The whole album is great.
And that's the thing. The thing I love about it is things like Funny Vibe and Open Letter to a Landlord and Desperate
I love
People
that one.
and What's Your Favorite Color? I mean, What's Your Favorite Color is straight
Johnny's
up
Lights.
Prince.
Johnny's Lights.
Yes.
Whatever.
Straight up Prince. I mean, what just brilliant.
No, I love that. I love that song. That
Yeah,
whole
I mean,
album's just
And
terrific.
I mean, and they got even they got a little bit weirder when Wimbish joined the band. I prefer Living Color with Muzz Skillings on bass. I'm a bigger fan of that lineup. But when Wimbish joined, they got even more bizarre and out there because Wimbish is like from the Bad Brains school of almost punk, avant-garde punk and hardcore, and so did that place. So he took Vernon in another direction that is away from the soul and R&B and jazz stylings that the early stuff had. And again, all of it works with the exception of if there's one song that Living Color should never have done, it is their cover of Back in Black. It is abominable. Just an absolute mistake on somebody's part for them to do that song.
This is the
Disgusting.
problem with covers. Sometimes they work so well, like when Great White does Led Zeppelin, or Kiss pulls something. That's great. But like when it goes wrong, it really goes wrong.
Yeah. That was a bad idea. It was a really, really bad choice for them to do that song. They have done some great covers. They do a cover of Should I Stay or Should I Go? They do a great cover of Sunshine of Your Love. They are a very, very good band and very reverential toward those that have come before them. But that Back in Black cover was a huge mistake.
Yeah, the AC/DC's hard to cover. Cover someone like Slade, like everyone else does.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Was a good band to cover, yeah.
Yeah, there's certain bands that like are very coverable, but like AC/DC is like so distinct. A certain guitar sound, a certain raspy voice sound that's kind of got to go with it. That's a hard one.
Yeah, they'll never get what they deserve. Just like there's other bands like that, like Fishbone, and
I always talk about Spacey T.
yeah, Fishbone never gets any credit for being what they are. Fishbone and early Faith No More and early Chili Peppers, all of that stuff is absolutely the foundation of the new metal genre. All that new metal where they took heavy metal music and fused it with hip hop. All that Faith No More and Fishbone and those guys did that first. There's actually a band called Death out of Detroit. Not the same band that
Not
played.
not DETH.
Yeah,
DETH.
No, but there was a band called Death out of Detroit back in the 70s that is very instrumental in the whole laying the foundation for that sort of funk-based and heavy metal crossover vibe. And then, of course, Suicidal Tendencies. Suicidal Tendencies was a groundbreaking band that crossed over and made a style of music that was completely cashed in on by guys like Jonathan Davis and Fred Durst and so many other bands. There were so many bands that got rich off of something that Mike Muir and Rocky George pioneered years before them.
Rocky George is such an underrated and unmentioned player. And I always say this, you have to step back and think about this. I often think that certain players don't get the attention they deserve because they're black. And this is like what Spacey T always told me, in the early days of Sound Barrier, who, if you're not familiar with Sound Barrier, I've talked about them on the show before. They're like a black Judas Priest, basically. Yeah. And they came in the early 80s
with awful outfits.
And again, red and black leather, gimmicks and whatever. But here's Spacey T, a tremendous shredder. And if it was a white band coming on stage, no one would ever question it. But they always got questioned by reviewers, by audience, by everyone, because they were an all-black band playing heavy metal, and that wasn't the generic norm back in the early 80s.
No, I mean, it was like those guys and Mother's Finest. Remember Mother's Finest was another band that was like that. That was mixed race that got a lot of heat for playing rock with African Americans in the band.
And Rocky George and Tony McAlpine.
Right.
And I think it only became
Lloyd Grant from Metallica.
I think it only became like mainstream probably when Living Colour reached in the late 80s. But Living Colour, even Grover has said that he was inspired to get into music by Sound Barrier. And all the guys in the early 80s.
The interesting thing about Living Colour, and those that weren't there probably won't remember this, but when Vivid, which is their debut record, when that was put out, if you notice on the record, there's no pictures of the band.
That's true.
And when they sent out a press kit, it was traditional back in the day. You got a folder with the band bio and what the band was all about, and usually a press photo of the band as well. A publicity photo. Never got sent out. Epic Records never sent publicity photos, and they didn't show any pictures of Living Colour until after the record was out for a while, so that the record would be based upon its merits and not upon the color of the people that had made the record. Now, it only takes 1 second to hear Corey Glover's voice to hear soul. But
Glover, I said Grover.
Yeah, but nobody knows. But nobody knows what color that band was until they stood on stage. And then there was like, oh my God. And by the way, it doesn't matter. Hendrix being a great example of that. Sly Stone. There are guys that transcend.
But back in that was in the
sure.
60s.
Right. Yeah, you get into some of those situations now, and a black rock band still doesn't get. It's still a color barrier that still has yet to really be broken. The closest band to doing it,
black metal band.
Yes, the closest thing to doing it was Living Colour. Was the closest thing to being a band of African American musicians that crossed over to white culture.
Well, that made it. That made it, because Sound Barrier had 3 albums. They were constantly being looked at as, who are these black guys playing heavy metal, rather than who's this heavy metal band. Right. And I like I said, I could tell you story after story. Tom Morello also, not just Corey Glover, Tom Morello also said, my earliest influence, Sound Barrier, because for the first time I saw black guys playing heavy metal. And it was, it was like a revelation, like, oh my God, look, this is great. This is great. Why aren't they getting the attention that, here's Tony McAlpine and Joe Satriani, and everyone notices Joe Satriani. Why isn't Tony McAlpine, who I think is every bit as good, taking off the same way? It was looked at as like, Well, that's odd. There's a black guy playing. Why aren't you playing rap? Why aren't you? Isn't you like this genre too? It was unusual at the time, for there to be like someone like Rocky George who was incredible.
Yeah, Rocky doesn't get any of the credit that he deserves
really doesn't.
As a pioneer in what he does. And again, he and Lloyd Grant were the only two guys doing it at the time. Obviously, Rocky would go on to be significantly more successful than Lloyd. But Lloyd was there. Lloyd was there when Metallica made their first demos. Lloyd is on the first Metallica demos. Lloyd was replaced by Dave Mustaine. It didn't matter back then, in the underground. It was just a matter of, were you any good?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, when you get into and you start packaging things in the business, a band like Living Colour, who have made brilliant music, just don't get mentioned. Sound Barrier doesn't get mentioned. Tony McAlpine, who's every bit as good as Yngwie or any other guitar player you can mention, doesn't get, there are these guys. Look, Prince was a phenomenal guitar player. Phenomenal, but nobody knows.
No one knows, not just guitar. He played every instrument. Right. And well, if you look at him on guitar, you watch him playing a Telecaster like it's an extension of his body.
Yep. Greg Howe, another great guy. Yeah.
He's unreal, or was unreal. Like literally, people ask who are the best guitar players of the 80s, and Prince deserves to be on a lot of lists.
I saw Prince in Sacramento back in the early 2000s. He did one of these tours where basically they announced the tickets were on sale on Friday afternoon for a show that happened Sunday. Like it was his attempt to beat Ticketmaster and scalpers and all that shit. So he did this like little tour, this mini tour, and he played an auditorium, a tiny little auditorium in Sacramento. And he played for like 2 hours. And during that 2 hours, the guitar work that he did was Steve Vai-esque, that good, that phenomenal, that fluid, and that effortless. The guitar was almost bigger than he was because he was a tiny little man. Like Angus Young small.
Very short.
But holy shit, what a player. And he was never really known for being as great a player as he is, or was. And yeah, there's a couple other guys you can mention, Eric Gales and Gary Clark. Gary Clark doesn't get the credit he deserves as a great player either. He just doesn't get, these guys are improperly thrown into these categories, pigeonholed. And it's not fair.
It's sad. But you know what? I'm glad eventually that the Living Colour was the first ones to really break out. But like I said, you got to tip your hat to the guys in Sound Barrier and Tony McAlpine and Rocky George and all those that like just fought so that Living Colour could get to that place.
Well,
Sly Stone too. Just basically, blacks getting recognized as hi, my skin color doesn't affect that I can rip on guitar, So just tip of the hat to those guys. Taylor.
Interesting question.
Thank you, Taylor. What was your opinion of Axl Rose's stint in Guns N' Roses, and do you think he would have been suitable as their permanent lead vocalist? Would have been suitable as their permanent lead vocalist? He is their lead vocalist.
No, he's
thinking it's supposed. The question was his stint in AC/DC. The question was regarding.
Okay. I see.
It was poorly worded, but
I think he was the wrong guy for AC/DC.
Wrong guy for the job. Yep, wrong guy for the job.
Yeah. No, and
I was unfriended by Angus Young on Facebook because of it, because I voiced that opinion publicly, and he was pissed. Axl's great for Guns N' Roses, or was great for Guns N' Roses. He still has his moments when he sounds fantastic, but they are few and far between.
When he shows up.
He's had his shit together for a couple of years. Guns N' Roses, all that is that stuff from 30 years ago is from 30 years ago. They go out. They're very workmanlike. They execute the show very well. It's a well-oiled machine, a lot like the Rolling Stones and other bands, and more power to them. But Axl Rose and AC/DC was a mistake. It was an opportunity.
They were in
those tours.
They were in a pinch. They basically had 4 guys in line to replace them. One was an unknown and went to go on to I forgot the name of LA. Oh, what the hell is that band? LA Strong. Oh, we've talked about them. Help me out here. LA Street, LA Strong, something like that. LA what?
I don't know. LA. What was this?
Hi, LA.
Hi, LA. No, I mean, Mark Storace from Crocus was also in the running for that gig, and
he would have worked out. Not LA Guns, not LA.
He would have been better.
I remember it was like some newer band.
Yes, the
LA Maybe. There we go, Mark.
The LA Maybe. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, man. Yeah, the LA Maybe. That guy had the vocal chops for the job, and I think they should have gone with him. But look, Axl Rose was a name at the time. They were in a pinch for someone to fill out a tour without having people suddenly say, I don't want to hear some new guy. They didn't want a refund. They didn't want to give refunds. So they went with the name.
For a stadium show.
Yep.
Yeah. So they went with the name. I understand the business of why they did it.
The right guy for that job was Joel O'Keefe, who was the lead vocalist for an Australian band called Airborne. I haven't heard him. Joel would have been fantastic in that position. And because they are so, Airborne is so unabashedly AC/DC influenced, it's ridiculous. Angry Anderson could have done the job as well from Rose Tattoo.
Okay.
But the reality was they wanted a big name. They needed
Louis Anderson could have done that job, and he is a big guy, big name.
They needed a big name to keep people from wanting to cancel the tour and or ask for refunds. And they had that tour booked, and they only had by the way, Axl only played like 10 dates. It's not like he played an entire tour. We played 10 shows with him, and it was like a guest thing, but he was just round peg square hole.
It was an emergency.
He was Gary Sharon and Van Halen for me. It was just not the right fit.
I was about to ask which do you prefer, Gary and Van Halen or
neither?
Axl and AC?
Neither. They're both the wrong
Mitch
guy
Malloy
for the job.
and Van Halen. David Shea Gomery brings up Tom Kiefer. Tom Kiefer would have been a good choice, I think.
Except Tom's voice is blown out. Tom has the same problem that Axl has, and that is he sang falsetto and scarred his vocal cords. Tom has had to retrain his voice several times because has huge problems with his throat. It was a nice little novelty, but it was a novelty, and thankfully, look, when the latest AC/DC record, Power Up, came out, that time off really served Brian well, because Power Up is arguably the best vocal performance of Brian Johnson in the past 20 years with AC/DC. Fantastic record.
Speaking of fantastic record, a friend of mine just introduced me to this band, and I never heard of them before, but apparently they have I think 5 albums. Do you know Battle Beast?
I know the name, but I'm not familiar with the band. But I know the name. I've heard the band.
So I'm going to put this out to the chat. I don't know if you've heard it or not, but here's your homework for the week. Check out this song by this band, Battle Beast, and the song is called King for a Day. And I've never heard of them before, but holy shit, this song just blew me away as a really, really great song. Female vocalist, very similar to not Lita Ford, but I'm trying to think of a heavy, almost like
Girls' School.
Not Girls' School. What's her name from World? Doro Pesh. So think of like Doro Pesh kind of,
or Lee Aaron.
Powerful vocalist. Lee Aaron is another one that would fit the bill, sure. So the band is called Battle Beast. The song is called King for a Day. check it out. Let me know what you guys think of it. There we go. Let's get a good look at this girl.
She looks like Cobra from Cobra and the Lotus.
She looks like Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai Platoon. There you go.
Guy's playing a guitar too. Look at
No, it's another one of those bands that has guitars and keyboards, which is a sound I like.
Oh, doubling. So they're both playing like the same thing, like they're both doing the solos at the same time.
No, like like a Bon Jovi lineup. You got a guitarist, you got a keyboardist, you got a drummer, you got a bass player, and you have someone on vocals. I just really, really like. She played a couple of songs for me, but that was the one that stuck out in my mind as King for a Day. But I'd never heard of them before, and with that many albums under their belt, I think there's 5. Unless she was mistaken, but I was really, really impressed. I really liked them. So there's another one to add into your go-to metal hopper of bands you might not have heard of that you should probably check out. Just a little song to entertain you after the show. See what you think. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of Battle Beast. I'm really curious. I was listening to also Sunbomb, Tracy Gunn's new project.
Tracy Gunn's and Michael Sweet, yeah.
With Michael Sweet. Phenomenal. And again, it's kind of expected that Tracy Guns is an amazing and super versatile guitarist. And then you got Michael Sweet, who's just an excellent vocalist. So, you could figure out without trying too hard that they're going to turn out a good product.
But nobody's going to care.
Did you see what Michael Sweet was saying? Was it?
I hate him. No, what did he say?
No. He's going to bring up something about Michael Sweet and Van Halen.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah,
well,
yeah. He wants to get one of his guitars back. I don't know. Maybe you own this guitar. It's a PV Wolfgang that was custom built for Michael Sweet.
I don't know. I don't own any Wolfgangs.
I think it has like flames on it or something.
Mm-hmm. But I hear next week Paulie's selling me a Music Man. Paulie's selling me a Music Man next week. Everyone on the show gets to get one, but he just traded one into Zim's guitars too. But that one's coming back. But
yeah.
And yes,
never have sold that guitar.
And yes, Bruce points that Tracy Guns is playing the new Kramer in the video, so you can check that out. Tracy Guns has a new signature Kramer, which he'll probably get rid of in a week because Tracy goes through guitars. I always say this: there's 3 guys in metal that get rid of gear like every other week, and it's George Lynch, Jack Frost, and Tracy Guns. So those 3 guys, all versatile guitarists, and that's probably helping that their guitar playing is versatile because every week they have new guitars.
Mm-hmm. That'll definitely keep you on your toes as far as your chops.
Playing. Sure, because now you're getting used to breaking in a new guitar, bonding with a new guitar.
Yeah.
So definitely check out Battle Beast. Let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a thumbs up. And otherwise, it is time for Guitar Show and Tell. So I didn't give a clue today, but it is that time. If you haven't left a thumbs up, leave a thumbs up. It's time to point out some of our great sponsors like Vinum Custom Pickups. One of the sponsors bringing this show to you. Check out Vinum Custom Pickups. Call up Craig Vinum. Tell him that Mancuda sent you from Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live. And check that out. Craig will make you whatever you want. You want something custom. You want something special. You want something run-of-the-mill, but with a little tweak to it. You want something that sounds like a JB, but a little muddier. You want something like a Super Distortion 2, but a little cleaner. You tell Craig Vinum that we sent you, and Craig will take good care of you. Vinum Custom Pickups. Thank you, Vinum Custom Pickups. And, of course, our buddies over at Swiss Picks, the greatest gripping picks out there. And those beautiful things with those grip holes on them so they're not flying off into women's shirts where you'd have to reach in and go get them in the cleavage, and you don't want that embarrassing situation, do you? Sorry, Grandma. I'm really sorry. I didn't. Oh, geez, embarrassing. Yeah, so check out Swiss Picks. And of course, Tessie Switch, the greatest kill switches ever made for your guitar. Add a Tessie switch, and you can add all sorts of fun noise play to your playing. Tessie Switch. Thank you, Tessie. So it is time for show and tell guitar. Today's guitar, I didn't do a clue, so I'll just bop this puppy right out. Oh, I'm sorry. FU Tone, also sponsor. If you want to hot rod your guitar, you go to FU Tone. You call up FU Tone, tell them you want something like a titanium saddle set. You want upgraded tuners. You want a bridge made of titanium. You want replacement parts, upgrades, noiseless springs. FU Tone has it. Go to futone.com and check out the upgrades they have for you. There we go. Now I will bust this out like I will bust a nut. We're on YouTube already. I know we're on YouTube. Damn it, Beane.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Johnny's like, Renew saline solution. Thank you, Renew, for keeping our eyes moist in that Arizona heat. Renew, wonderful saline solution in a douche style bottle. And of course, our friends over at Haribo, makers of delicious treats like gummy bears. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Just break out the guitar, for Christ's sakes.
And thank you, Sex Tarts Cherry Pop Flavored Lube. Thank you, Sex Tarts. When you want a hand job or a blow job that tastes delicious, go to Sex Tarts. Sponsor of the Johnny Bean Show. There you go.
Do you want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Really quickly.
I want to see a drum.
Really quick. See this bracelet I have?
Yes.
Desmond Child gave me this for my birthday.
Paulie, can you get that?
He's gone. No, seriously. Desmond gave me this. There it is. I used to wear it. I
was hoping Paulie would get that name you just dropped.
Yeah, he left.
He's smarter than half our audience. They're all still here. I don't even know what I'm doing still here. Anyway, take a second, leave a thumbs up. And Johnny, if you could muster up a drum roll from your sound machine that has no goddamn battery. Oh boy.
Was it that one?
Boy. No.
Oh.
Oh, look at that thing. Oh,
wow. Boy. Look at that.
Oh,
that's pink.
That is Pink Burst. This is a 1989 Pink Burst ESP M1 with pointy matching headstock. Look at that thing. How cool is that?
Wow.
ESP originally, as you guys know, were souped up replacement parts located on 48th Street. Eventually started doing custom shop stuff at 48th Street and mutated into doing full-on shredder guitars as ESP. And of course, LTD, their import line, or their lower end entry-level import line. But look at this thing. Super, super beautiful neck through on this bad boy. Pink Burst. So you got the dark and light edges there. How cool is that? Nice, comfy player. Super, super tone because you have sustain for days being neck through. I love the binding on the headstock. ESP M1. This is an all business guitar. This puppy, one pickup, one volume, a little booster switch for a little extra kick in the tuchus. As us Jews like to say, a little kick in the tuchus. And this one has let's see, it's licensed by Floyd Rose, but it's an ESP branded trem. You look at that. I don't know if you could see that right here on the tuners. See the ESP logo there, Johnny?
Right above the tuners there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not a Horizon, not a Horizon Craven Soda.
I see it.
Horizon was a similar guitar, but different. This is the M1. Again, M1, basically, single hum, all business. Basically, their answer to things like, the Kramer Beretta or the BC Rich Gunslinger. Just that one hum, all business Strat. But this is neck through. The Beretta and the Gunslinger were bolt-ons. This one has a really nice curve to it. Nice little shape here. Look at the carve on that. Really comfy to play. Great upper fret access. Thanks to this deep cutaway in the lower horn. Let's see. ESP logo in the center. 12th fret. And you notice one thing that always annoyed me a little bit about ESP, because I love their guitars, but I hate how the fret markers are like just at the top of the board versus like in the center, like most of the others. Because it's almost right where the top dots are, which is a little frustrating for me. Rosewood board again, back when good rosewood was available. I just love this kind of stuff because, again, I always say this, they can't make them as good as they did in the 80s. And, ESP, started coming up when they got their endorsers, guys like George Lynch in 86 suddenly put these guys on the map. And then, of course, Kirk Hammett, the guys from Queensryche, Chris DeGarmo and Michael Wilton were playing ESPs at the time. And, again, like a lot of other companies, they went to the pointy headstocks from what was originally in the early 80s. They had the Strat headstocks, a lot like Kramer. And later on, they started making the Kramer USA models, basically sending, bodies in the late 80s. I think starting what, like in 86 or 87, starting to send ESP made parts to Kramer USA, and they called it the American series, which was basically ESP made parts assembled in America, set up in America, hardware added in America. But the bodies, the necks, things like that for, later Berettas and Stage Masters and stuff like that. That was made by ESP. Bruce Kulick, big ESP player as well. Thank you, David Shea Gomery and Mr. Hellstorm. And I think ESP is one of the few brands right now that I could say their custom shop still makes some really nice stuff. I also love the Jackson Charvel custom shop big time, that they can also make some current big stuff. But a lot of the other brands have just kind of lost that ability, in my opinion. What do I know? But the way I look at it, guitars like this back in the day were made so much better for, shredding and real heavy duty guitar playing than they are nowadays, and if you look at the back of the headstock, you got that, solid volute right there, giving that extra strength, which is a great thing. Chrome tuners, your little wrench holder. Let's see, are the tuners branded? Tuners are made in Japan. So standard ESP tuners. This is kind of like a pink pearl. If you see the way it kind of reflects off the light, it's like a beautiful metallic pink pearl, solid as a rock. And again, plays very similar to if you've played a Kramer Stage Master or a Liberty or I guess there are two Stage Masters, the arch type or the flat type, or the Kramer Liberty, both made by ESP. You'll feel that similar feel of that, just that rock solid sustain from, a neck through body like that. Really great guitar. Otherwise, pretty light. Not sure what wood this one's made out of. Let's see. What are we talking? Susan Svestry. My dad would have loved John. He would have given him a racket and a can of balls and some lessons for free. Daddy had tons of Jewish friends. Well, it's nice to know that my Jewishness doesn't hold me back in Hollywood, because usually Jews are discriminated against in Hollywood. Yeah, maybe not so much. Anyway, yeah. So 1989 ESP M1 neck through in pink burst. Today's show and tell guitar of the week. Look at that puppy. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. There you go.
That looks like, that's your guitar, man.
I know, right? This is
Definitely.
one of many pink guitars in my herd. And they're great. They're just great players. I really like the flat necks on these. They're very flat D shape, if you check that out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just what I like. A lot of guys like, a thicker C shape, but that's really for more of the Les Paul 59 crowd. I like a flat D shape. That's more of a comfort zone for me. There you go. So there you go. Today's show and tell guitar. Enjoy 1989 ESP M1 in pink burst. We got to get Johnny new batteries, kids. And if you like the guitar, leave a thumbs up on the video, please.
Please.
Let's see. Let's also talk about, because we got 10 minutes left. Let's talk about upcoming, just announced 2022 Monsters of Rock cruise is happening, and it is headlined by Alice Cooper, the Coop. You don't get better than that, but check out this lineup. This is such an incredible lineup for the Monsters of Rock cruise. I hate cruise ships. I just don't go on cruises, but this one's so tempting because the lineup is so good. Listen to this lineup, Johnny. So you have Alice Cooper, Queensryche, Cinderella's Tom Kiefer, Skid Row, Lit, LA Guns, Kicks, Winger, Michael Monroe, Great White, Heat, Loudness, Pat Travers, Y&T, Eclipse, Vixen, Rose Tattoo, Black and Blue, Firewind, Chris Holmes, Joel Hoekstra, Lillian Axe, Faster Pussycat, Pink Cream 69, Dangerous Toys, Killer Dwarves, XYZ, Beasto Blanco, Electric Boys, Crazy Licks, Little Caesar, Roxanne, Signal 13, and John Corabi. Holy shit! What a fucking lineup that is. Did you hear me? It just went on and on and on and on. That's a lot of good music. That's a lot of good bands. And we've been in quarantine for so long that to get back to music, and yeah, you'll probably have to get vaccinated, which you should have anyway. So do it now. Some places are giving away free beer and some places are paying you. Just get the damn vaccine and get on this cruise, because holy shit. Cabins starting at $17.99 a person, double occupancy.
$17?
Yeah, no, not $17. $1,700, $17.99, double occupancy. So you get a friend or a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you got. And listen, participating in the cruise, you have interactive events with the artists, including Q&A sessions, gong show karaoke. So you think you can shred contest. Get to play guitar, cooking with rock stars. Come on, who doesn't want to, cook up some dinner with Alice Cooper, man? Let's see.
Or with Vinnie Vincent?
Yeah, Vinnie Vincent will be there. Let's see.
Paul's Wi-Fi went away. That's why.
Yeah, no, I read it. Painting with rock. Painting with rock stars versus average Joe basketball. So you're gonna play guitar and shred, and then you're gonna play basketball against some of your favorite rock stars. What's better than that? Beach volleyball plus theme nights and the opportunity to dine at the tables of select bands. How cool is that? How fucking cool is that? Let's see. Hosted by John Mancuda, Neanna Paul, and Johnny B. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. It's hosted. We didn't get that gig. Hosted by Eddie Trunk, Don Jameson, and Jim Florentine. I'm sorry. We didn't get that one.
Oh, those guys.
Those guys. They got it. Okay. Next year we'll put in for that. We'll put in for that. But what a lineup. What a freaking lineup. So if you were ever thinking of going on a Monsters of Rock cruise, doesn't that one sound fucking great? Like for real.
Well, didn't that stuff come back on a cruise? Isn't that how this whole thing started?
Yeah, the rock cruises started, bringing back a lot of metal bands got reunited specifically to get on those shows and play for large audiences again. And, those cruises hold a lot of people. So,
can you actually feel the boat like moving when you're on one of those?
I think it's like very little. It's so big. It's a lumbering behemoth in the ocean,
Is one of the in cruise movies Titanic?
Yeah, right.
With a light show and with like effects.
You can get the same. You can get the same food poisoning and diarrhea that your favorite rock stars get on a cruise. So when you're vomiting over the rough seas, the ledges, you look over and you're like, oh my God, it's Aldo Nova.
Aldo Nova doesn't look like he's feeling too well.
Yeah. Now's the time to go ask Aldo for a selfie, or go ask Aldo.
A pukey.
Yeah, go ask Alice Cooper's over there. I'm feeling sick. Hey, Alice, hold on. Can I just get a one selfie? Yeah.
No, if we were on it, it'd be like this.
Would that be the greatest? Would that be the greatest thing ever? Yeah, you're getting a video. So I'm here with Alice Cooper. I'm here with Alice Cooper. This is great. This is great. I love the rock show. I don't
feel so good.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I don't know if I would ever get on a cruise, no matter what it is, because I'd get claustrophobic and just panic and just.
Everyone always gets C. diff or some diarrhea or
right, Susan?
Some food poisoning. Everyone's always getting sick on a cruise ship, and then you're stuck. You're stuck on a cruise. Even my mother went on a cruise to Greece when my father, rest in peace, was alive, and she was like, I don't know. It's there's not a lot there. It's a lot of eating, and then of course they gotta yell at your father to stay away from sweets, and then you get to your destination, you have fun, but then you go back on that ship and you're just floating everywhere. I don't know. Yeah, I can't do that. Susan Silvestri says it's same thing. Everyone gets sick on a fucking cruise ship. You always get sick, but you're going to get sick with your favorite fucking rock stars. And, they have, and look at the mix of bands. You have all the good 80s guys, and you have a lot of the new generation, like, Heat and Crazy Licks. And, I'm telling you, man, it's tempting as fuck. Even though I'm not into cruise ships, it's really tempting to go on that cruise ship to see those shows. And think about it. You're going for $1,700, you have double occupancy, okay, or $1,799, so that's $900 a piece. I mean, think about that. $900 a piece. What do you pay for a concert? Now you're getting like 50 bands or something crazy, and you get to interact with them and sit with them. And if you're a stalker, this is the cruise for you. They can only run to the other end of the ship. If you've ever been like wanting to stalk one of your favorite band members, this is how to do it. They ain't getting away.
Oh, that's horrible.
You know, you dress up in a little planter and you're sliding across the deck.
Do they have a jail on cruise ships? Like there has to be like police on there. Do they put people away?
I'm sure they have a brig. Like, you know,
it's like a tiny floating city.
Yeah, like they have a brig, I'm sure, at the the bottom of the ship. So, if you really do stalk someone, you won't screw at that. Thank you, False Flags. Yeah, cruise ships are petri dishes. Absolutely. Cruise ships are petri dishes.
Thank you, False
Anyway,
Flags.
so there you go. That's the news. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Know that we love and appreciate our audience. And let's give a big thanks to our channel members for tonight's show. Hal Face, John Moronic, James Gum, Hillary Lewis, Jim Nicholas, 802
Blues,
Mr. BHB Jr., Frag 5150, Pow Guitars, Dan Halen, Frank Corcoran, Ben Tom, Michael B, Jeff T. Holy shit, is this wording getting smaller and smaller? R2R3 Locking Knot for
Fernando Riley,
Robot Master Switch, 6Chick71, Rick Green, the Chad, Two Brain Cells, Thomas Santiago, Vuju Child SJ, that's Sean Johnson, Brian Spalding, Fender Guru, Music Therapy Laz. We are praying that Roxy comes home soon. Ghost BC Rich, 5150 TV, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Hugh Caldwell, David Crosby is a dildo fucker. He sure is. Jesus Rapes Me, Randy Price, Laguna Palms, and Steve Carmichael.
Charles Green.
Let's also give thanks to our channel members: Charles Green, Fruitcake Tony, Michael the Captain Smith, David Ennis, Mike Neese, Richard Poole, Linny Lou, and Mary. Saw that lube and got all wet. Gargets Entertainment, Kurt 5150, Susan Silvestri, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Mrazek, Sean Boland, Wayno, Stephen Franklin, Will Starr, R. Habs, David Shea Garmery, Bo Zeke, Crazy Cook 678, Carol Hatcher, False Flag, Margaret Scranton, Sean Silas, Julia Baldessari, and Jarhead Rock. Let's remember, we love you. Be safe out there. Wear a mask, wash your hands, get fucking vaccinated. Just do it so you can go on this cruise, and everyone be safe. We love you. We appreciate you. Leave comments in the chat. We always reply to them, and especially leave thumbs up. We love you. Blue Rhino loves you. Thank you for watching Talking Guitars and 80s Metal live.
Yes, and I'm sending everybody over to the premiere. I saw the new Wolfgang that they just announced today. I just happened to see it last night.
Nice.
So, see you guys there.
Rock on, everybody. TV. We appreciate you.
Thirteen seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.